40 years ago, we opened our doors with one mission in mind.
We'll be right back with the top 10 songs of 1983.
To sell quality American-made vehicles at a fair price.
You have arrived.
And we've loved every minute of the ride. Celebrating 40 years of Two Rivers Ford.
Good afternoon from the Superbook.com sports desk. I'm Joe Honk. The NFL league meetings are taking place in Phoenix today, and some of the rule changes that have been approved so far. Now you can wear the number 0. And in fact, it was probably 30 seconds after that the Jaguars announced that wide receiver Calvin Ridley will be the first player this season to announce that he will be wearing the number 0. Also being approved is the NFL says that there will now just be one roster cutdown date in the preseason, meaning that the teams will have to trim their rosters from 90 to 53 after the final preseason game. And coming up tonight on SEC Network Plus, Lipscomb and Vanderbilt going at it at 6 o'clock, and Vanderbilt has announced that all proceeds from the game tonight will go to the Community Foundation of Middle Tennessee, which is helping benefit the Covenant School shootings. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once in your home for the Vols, the flagship station for your Tennessee Titans, and home to 3HL. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Yo, what up, Nashville? 3HL 104.5 The Zone. Pretty Doherty with you on a beautiful day in the Music City. Happy Tuesday. 3HL presented by Spring Hill Heating and Cooling. SpringHillAC.com is the website you need to go to. They'll keep the weather in your house correct.
Yes.
The climate.
The climate.
You said weather one day.
I did. I thought you said the climate.
No, you said weather.
Yeah.
And I love that.
Climate's wrong either, too, though.
Yeah, but I don't care. It's
supposed to be
wrong.
the temperature.
Listen, 2 wrongs make a right.
Wait a second.
No one sells heating and cooling like you.
That's
they
right.
change the weather in your house.
That's right. Yeah, yo, I like that. That's a good pitch right there. Kevin, you hear that? That's a great pitch right there. Change the weather in your house.
Yes.
You control it, Babsy. You control your energy, too, Babsy.
We're about to hang out with Kevin this Friday, I think. You guys have it on your calendar?
I heard about that.
Yeah.
I talked with Kevin about that. There's a little concert thing.
Oh, no, I got left out on that one.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
No, you're supposed to put it on your calendar like
this was
5 months ago.
a long time ago.
Really?
Yeah, I know. I know you just forgot. Yep. It's okay. I'll send it to you.
Well,
Right,
this just went to a grinding halt at 3:03.
Well, so, okay, here's the thing. So we as a city continue to mourn and we continue to pray for the people at Covenant Church and their family and anyone affected by what happened yesterday, the tragedy in this town that, we all come together in good times and bad. It's not just the challenging times. We all come together with open arms and love each other. That's what makes this town, that's what makes this city, Nashville, the best city in America. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you've seen the body cam footage. I don't know if you want to necessarily, but I will describe it to you. Metro Nashville Police Department released body cam footage of 2 of the officers of their active shooter response at the Covenant School in Green Hills. And we yesterday, as a part of us talking through this with you guys, because look, man, yesterday was tough, and we keep talking about there were 6 There were 3 adults and 3 kids that went to that school yesterday and didn't leave. And those families won't get those people back. And we're certainly mindful and lifting up in prayer. One of the things that we talked about yesterday was, and we always do it, and I know most of y'all do it too, you celebrate's the wrong word. Certainly acknowledge first responders that go running into dangerous situations where they don't know what's going on either. You know, like, and so this webcam footage, like, I debated on whether or not to watch it, honestly. But then I wanted to see how Metro Nashville Police Department, with all of their training, and I'd heard that it was phenomenal police action. And so I went back and watched. Did you guys watch it?
Man, what?
I watched it like 20 times.
Dude, I wanted to go get them folks a hug.
How impressed were you with these police officers?
I was beyond. I was speechless. The way that no hesitance.
No hesitation.
Like, it's, I mean.
One voice, too.
Yeah.
One guy in charge.
And everybody moving in unison, quickly, clearing rooms. Man, they're
going through the door.
It gave me anxiety watching it.
Yes.
Like the
Because
fire alarms going off.
They don't know
and
where the shooter is.
No, they don't know if they're going to go clear a tiny bathroom and get gunned down.
Or an explosive go off, anything.
They don't know if they're about to turn a corner, and of all the training and precaution you can do, they don't know if they're about to turn that corner and never turn another corner.
And you're absolutely right, Babs. And on top of that, with the staff at the school as well, when the police officer pulled up, the lady outside was so calm and direct. Hey, we got all the kids locked away.
Sheltered.
They're hidden. They're sheltered. We only got 2 we can't account for. Boom, bam, bill. You should go this way. Okay, no. Okay, first floor.
All the kids are
it
upstairs
was like,
there. They entered in the first
Hey,
floor.
man.
All
Yeah.
the kids were upstairs, and the shooter was upstairs.
Yep.
That was so precise.
But they
And
didn't know the shooter
man,
was
that was-
upstairs at that point.
Until they heard gunfire.
That was.
But they were going
everything.
room to room, and you're right, there's a bathroom in every room, so they're having to methodically do this, right? But do it quickly.
Yes.
And intentionally. And, I mean, the guy in charge, like, he would say, for example, a guy was wearing a blue shirt, and he's like, we need blue shirt, rifle first through the door. And, I mean, without hesitation,
They
my
were on it,
man
man.
goes right through that door, and he has no idea what's going to happen.
They were on it.
And they're covering their rear, they're covering the side, like they're going into doors. And I'm in awe of first responders and the jobs that they do.
You can tell.
protect us.
I just had a rep reach out. Man, he said you could tell that their staff was trained to a T. That was textbook room clearing and moving to contact and eliminating it.
Well, and you saw, if you go back and watch too, and I know nothing about police work. I know
Right.
nothing about
Right.
the tactical part of
Right.
all of this, but it was like switch lead, and these guys had them on the left
Yep.
when they entered kind of the circle area,
Yep.
and I mean it was, and this is something that stood out to me too. Well, first of all, from the point, just the calmness was unbelievable. But from the point that they entered that building to the point that it ended the threat was 3 minutes. 3 minutes from the point they entered the building to where the threat had been handled.
Yeah,
3
they,
minutes.
They had to physically use a key to unlock the front door. Like, and
Yep.
that takes time.
Yep.
So if the shooter is standing there, and
So
they were like, he was like, I need 3.
Yep.
And he was unlocking the door. He's like, I need 1 more. And like, so then they all go in. But
So our good friend who actually trained our station in mass shooting kind of protocol and how to protect yourself and survive if something like that happens, Brink, actually trained both of those schools on possible shooting scenarios and what to do the safest way
right.
to protect the kids and all of that. Obviously 6 lives is too many to lose, but if they had not known that protocol and practiced it and trained it and made sure all those kids were upstairs, locked away, locked down. You know, you hate to think that it could have been worse. But the Metro response was unbelievable. The calmness, the methodical way they kind of moved through there. You know, there was one point that stood out to me too on the video where you can see the officer from the officer's body cam. You know, I think it was their fourth guy that joined them or something. They started out with 3 and then the 4 and 5 came and the fourth guy joined them. And you saw the officer reach out. He like kind of stepped in front of him and moved into his spot. And you saw the officer just reach out and like, it was such a human, like pat on the back, like, let's go. We got this. Do you know what I mean? And it was like a reminder in this methodical, clearly they're trained moment of this video that, okay, they're still human. And it was almost like a, let's go, you know? It was, I mean, heroes. To not even think about turning a corner to try and protect people from evil and to put yourself in that it's unbelievable.
Well, so today, this is how today is going to work, at least off the top of our heads right now. We will do 3HL today, and we will talk sports, and we will have a good time, and, you know, we will do what we do. But obviously with a heavy heart, and this topic will for sure come up. But, again, lifting up the families and those that know Evelyn Dykus, 9 years old, Allie Scruggs, 9 years old, William Kinney, 9 years old, Catherine Kuntz, head of school, Mike Hill, custodian, worked with the kitchen staff as well, and sang beautifully from what we hear. We had a caller yesterday that called in and eulogized his friend, Mike Hill, and Cynthia Peak. All right. There are ways for you to help, many ways for you to help. There are GoFundMe pages out there. Also, Community Foundation of Middle Tennessee, which is cfmt.org. They kind of organize givings in situations like this. If you go to the front of their website, cfmt.org, support survivors of the Covenant school shooting. You can do that. All right, NFL meetings are going on in Phoenix, and there are lots of rule changes and lots of rule change possibilities that were shot down as well. And Jim Wyatt from TennesseeTitans.com will join us at 3:45 live from Phoenix, and we'll talk through some of those things. Also, Blaine brought this up on Blaine and Mickey. Former general manager Mike Tannenbaum thinks the Titans will take a quarterback at 11. We'll talk about that when we come back. 3HL 104.5 The Zone.
What's happening, people? Ron Slay here, Superbook Sports. Download it. I mean, immediately, just download it. You get to it, you get to wager right away. You can visit superbook.com as well and start wagering and winning today. But the main thing you got to understand is, man, who is behind the scenes. Superbook Sports is the most trusted name in Las Vegas, and it's live right here in Tennessee for all your sports wagering needs. They have a team of dedicated odds makers behind the counter in Las Vegas, setting all of their prices. We're talking about guys that have decades of experience, showing you why you should trust Superbook and why they have the best books around. It doesn't make, but I mean, I can't get it even more clear than that. And right now, you can look ahead to Final Four. You got playoffs coming up. You got hockey playoffs coming up. You want to tap in and get it all done. Visit superbook.com for terms and conditions. Gambling problem, call 1-800-889-9789. Book it.
Buddy Allen Carpet One, your flooring experts in Nashville, and this is a local company, locally owned and operated by the Allen family for more than 55 years. Zach, Jenna, and Judson Allen are in the store every day. They offer you free in-home measures and estimates. They also will take care of they will handle the installation part of the process as well. If you go to the big box stores, they'll turn you over to a 1-800 number. You have no idea what's going on at that point. Nope, that will be handled in-house. Buddy Allen Carpet One will be there for you. 2405 11 and Pike and Donaldson, the beautiful, spectacular showroom, 615-883-3289, BuddyAllenCarpet1.com. 3HL 1045 The Zone. Don mentioned Brink Fiddler. His company is called Defense Systems, defensesystems.com. And he trains schools, businesses for a variety of things, emergency care situations, but mass shootings also. And honestly, like how normal people like any of us can take out a shooter. So, yeah, you can
if you have to.
Yeah, you can check out his website, defensesystems.com.
Or like the best place, to go.
To hide and all
to
that
hide.
stuff. Like, yeah, he can come
Safety.
He can
all
come
that.
look at your business, your school, whatever, and advise.
I'll see if we can get him on tomorrow just to kind of.
Yeah, he was busy today doing
He's in Memphis, I believe.
a training, right?
Doing a free training at the school where that the mom jogger was murdered. I think y'all remember that awful story out of Memphis. So, yeah, he's basically offering his services for free to all of those students there at that school.
You can watch the show on YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitter, and Twitch.
Twitch, please.
Blaine brought this up. I hadn't seen it until I heard him talking about it, but this is really interesting. Former GM Mike Tannenbaum thinks the Titans will take former Florida quarterback Anthony Richardson at number 11. I'm not sure he lasts there.
What?
Everybody's got, he's the dude. You saw his combine. It just takes one to fall in love.
And when one falls in love, the others just seem to scurry on behind
Yeah.
them.
What do they know that I don't know?
Yeah.
He only played 13 games, and he was sporadic in a lot of them, but he looked great in some of them.
Yeah, he did a backflip before going into the tunnel after
He is
pregame.
ridiculously athletic. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm saying like that's the infatuation. But yeah.
That's too,
Okay.
it's too big of a risk for this Titans franchise, right?
Okay, can I say something
Because it's a developmental quarterback. Yeah, go ahead.
to that?
To the risk?
Yeah.
If you're going to take it, now's the time.
And if I knew where we were headed, I would feel really if somebody come out at some point, which they're not, and say, "Hey man, we rebuilding this thing. We tearing it down. We rebuilding." I'd say, "Hey man, that ain't no bad coin flip."
I don't know how I feel about him. He is a big risk reward guy.
Huge.
The ceiling is ridiculous, but so is the floor. So I don't know. I don't know what to think, man.
But what are stars? High risk, high reward. Can you name a star that wasn't high risk, high reward?
Quarterback wise?
Quarterback wise.
Jeff George.
Good Lord.
See, that lets you know we didn't get right there.
Well, that was a guy
I'm
that
trying to-
everybody was in love
because-
with, and he was just okay.
Because Mahomes was, but he
went
was
up to
at
go-
Texas Tech.
And they went up to go get him.
Who knows if he
They
can?
went
Yeah.
up to go get him.
Who knew if he
Exactly.
would have panned out to this?
Now that dude is looking all over the field.
You did not think he would be this, though. Nobody.
No.
I'm sorry,
No,
but they
true.
probably didn't even think that.
Listen, if you
I don't
can
know. They
get,
traded up pretty good to get him.
Yeah.
That was a pretty good scout.
Let me ask y'all this.
Somebody said Peyton Manning.
No, you knew he was a star, dude.
Yeah.
That
but
might-
still, though,
Peyton Manning and Andrew Luck might be the two safest draft picks.
Like no risk, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's what you asked, right?
Yeah.
Name somebody
Name
who
somebody-
was a
that's a
star
good one.
that was.
That's a good one.
Oh, I thought he
Low
asked
risk.
with the wide range of possibility.
Oh, no.
No, that was,
like
yeah.
like a Vince,
Wrong.
like a
Yeah,
Vince
wrong.
Young, for example.
Maybe that's high risk, high reward.
Right.
So if you can give me what we're looking at, and now listen, y'all bear with me. If you can give me what I'm looking at in measurables,
Measurables. Yeah.
anytime you want to put it, and what I'm looking at in Anthony Richardson when he lines up in front of me, and you say, okay, we can get 2 reads out of him in routes with a guy like Derrick Henry behind him, with a makeshift offensive line, knowing if those 2 reads are in there, he's going to take off. Now, we got to coach him on being smart. If you can give me that for 2 years.
Because the league will adjust. They adjust.
They will
to
adjust. They will adjust.
Remember?
But while getting there for 2 years, he's got to be adjusted and growing as well. That's a special. Could be something special right there. I'm just saying. Like that.
So looking at Anthony
pretty
Richardson.
tough,
With your first round pick, you're willing to take that chance.
That's a huge chance. Here's the other thing if you're Rand Carthon. You immediately put your job on the line if you take that guy.
Yes, you do.
Immediately.
Yes, you do.
Keith Bullock sat in here one day and he was like, I'm not an Anthony Richardson guy. Whoever drafts him is going to get fired.
He's going to get somebody fired.
He's going to get somebody fired. And he said, I said, well, the mock I was looking at that day had Seattle taking him. And he was like, well, Russ tried to get Pete Carroll fired. This guy will.
Oh, jeez.
You had
Okay, but
such
let
a
me ask
complete
you
team
this.
coming in with him, though. with
Would
Russ.
you ever take a risk? Would you rather take a risk with Anthony Richardson or Will Levis?
Give me Anthony Richardson.
I go Tannehill one more year and draft one next year. That's what I do.
I'm all
Okay, but
for
you
that,
you have to suck
you gotta-
in order
yeah.
to be in a good position to draft
Or
one.
trade a lot of draft capital.
Well, you got to choose one, Euro.
Choose one what?
Anthony Richardson.
I don't think there's a scenario that you could give Slay where he actually chooses Will Levis. Be honest.
Yeah. No, you're right.
No, I'm not.
No.
Yeah, I don't.
Could be a
I don't know
pitcher
that I
after
want
just
either one of those
yeah, it's
guys.
a pitcher that needs Tommy John surgery or Will Levis. Give me the pitcher.
See, I mean, Levis is a gamble too, because man, he likes to force the ball in there.
And his ceiling ain't nowhere near what Anthony Richardson's is.
No, he's got a strong arm, but and
Richardson actually has no roof. Let's just be real. His potential has no roof. And ain't no question.
I think you're right, honestly. But
Will Levis is in the Aaron Rodgers little cave.
like you hear people talk about what Florida did for him was to cut the field in half and give him one read and then run.
I say give him two.
You can't do that in the NFL, man.
You can't.
For a minute, maybe. You're saying give me 2 years before they figure him out and then move on.
No move on, but he has to develop is what I'm saying. Like he got to be able to really get to it.
Oh, our guy Krieger said Jamarcus Russell.
Oh.
High
That's
risk,
a
high
good,
reward.
that's a good one.
Very high risk, high
Man.
reward.
So
Yo.
somebody at LSU told me one time. I don't know if this is true or not, but what the hell? That
I'm going to go ahead and say it's true.
Yeah.
Listen, that they would literally call timeout at practice, scrimmage, whatever, and tell Jamarcus to play, and he would forget it by the time he got to the huddle.
That's real. He just out here just getting to it.
And he had the purple drink and all
Yeah,
that
he
stuff.
just getting just
Was
going.
it-
Number one
he
overall
was-
pick.
He was the one where they gave him the scouting report that had nothing on it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He
talked about
wasn't.
it.
It was him. Yeah,
It was
he
him.
talked about it, and Coach was like, the next day, Coach was like, "Well, what do you think?" Yep, got it, perfect, or whatever. And he was like, "We put nothing on it
Yep.
on purpose to basically prove that you don't watch it."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So Anthony Richardson's 13 games. Like, okay, so he started against Utah, 17 to 24, 168 yards. Played pretty well. Then Kentucky, they lost, 14 to 35, 143 yards and 2 touchdowns. Then South Florida, they win by 3. Remember? 10 of 18, 112 yards, 2 interceptions.
Mm-hmm.
Then against Tennessee, 24 of 44, 453, 2 touchdowns and a pick. Looked great.
Yes, he did.
And I will say in that game, he was going to multiple receivers.
Yes, he was.
Okay?
Now, that is Tennessee's defense. But, yes, on the road.
Eastern Washington, 8 of 10, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. Missouri, 8 of 14, 66 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, they won by 7.
Now, but let me say this, Euro, before you finish doing that. Remember, they were protecting him as well, too, telling them because they didn't have a backup, he
Right.
couldn't run, he was limited in what he could do.
They
at the
did
same
that
time, too.
early, but Tennessee is when they unleashed him.
Unleashed him,
And
yeah.
so then he was like,
If you give me those stats and don't tell me anything about the quarterback, and you tell me you are going to pick this guy 11th overall,
8 of 14 against Missouri,
I'm going to check you
66
into
yards.
a
Yeah, not
hospital
with
because there's
the-
something wrong with you.
But guess what? What got him to this point and us even having a conversation and the world having a conversation is it's not just about those stats. They're going more off of him. His physical attributes. That's what they're going off
Now,
of.
he did have 106 yards rushing against Utah with 3 touchdowns. He had 109 yards rushing against LSU with a touchdown. He had 96 against South Carolina with a touchdown. So he is doing other things.
What was his Wonderlic? Did that one come out?
No, I'm a fan of that anyway, though.
You're not a fan of that?
I just don't understand
Why?
how
It
that,
tells
how
you
that comes
something.
out because it shouldn't. That's.
We did that. We did that my junior year at Tennessee, and I forgot what I scored. I think it was kind of high, but I just breezed through it. I wasn't even really trying.
I think a lot of these guys do that.
You know what I'm saying?
No way, they can't. It impacts their draft profile. It doesn't impact you.
No, but I'm saying we took it just to see like what it was going to be.
But listen,
I don't find anything on him.
I don't either. I don't see it anywhere.
I don't like that.
Good. It's supposed to be confidential.
It is, but I mean, everybody's is out there. But listen, who was it? Jim Kelly's was like 15. That's
Dan Marino was 13.
Not good. They were hell of quarterbacks.
36.
40? Ryan 50. 50 is the high.
Yeah.
Ryan Fitzpatrick is the high.
But yeah, I think Dan Marino was 13.
Right. So you have good quarterbacks.
VY was really off.
Vince Young was 7.
And then he took it again and didn't do that much better.
No. VY's was terrible. So you couple that with the fact that he didn't want to work, and that's where the demise was.
Now listen. Now we're having this conversation. Like, I'm not going to take Anthony Richardson, but I'm just saying.
Well, Slay.
If you talking about we rebuilding, I ain't mad we're going to get in the project. If they
end up taking him, I'll be excited to see what it looks like. You can't
wait.
know what I mean?
Well, it's the risk-reward thing because imagine if it pays off and he's
I wouldn't do it.
the guy.
And if you're going to do it, I'm going to watch.
Imagine why wouldn't we? Imagine if it ain't good either. Guess what that means? We'll be terrible again next year and we'll have another top 10 pick too. Let's go get another one like y'all been saying. Y'all keep saying go get a quarterback every year.
It sounds like Johnny Manziel in 2013 and 14. It's like, all right, well, if he comes out, we're going to be all right.
That's a good risk reward guy there.
But look at him. How tall was Johnny? Johnny was what?
Dude, I remember he was tiny.
Yeah, second start in the NFL, he just lit the Titans up.
This dude is right. Is this dude 6'5"?
Yeah.
Is Anthony Richardson 6'5"?
Yeah.
244.
Talking about a different guy, y'all.
Okay, I will say this.
The 4th fastest quarterback 40 ever.
That's all.
Well, guess what? That ain't going to affect him as a quarterback on the field. Is he ever going to be running that? Who cares how high he jumps? Is he going to be jumping that high on the field?
True.
Who cares? I mean, it shows how ridiculously athletic he is, but at some point, like, you still got to look at what the actual job of quarterback is and pay attention to those. Don't let these pretty numbers and all that distract you. Like, ooh, look, shiny over here. Look here.
That's
look at the diamonds right over there. Highest vertical for a quarterback ever. Oh, but he only played in 13 games.
Listen, I'm not going to hire the 3-headed dude at the carnival to do a sports talk show. Although I guess you would just need one mic and just him.
Oh, yeah. That'd be easier.
But I would pay to go see that dude do whatever he does at the carnival.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm going to watch the show.
Yeah.
I'm going.
Hey, by the way, going back to Johnny Manziel, that was my first. I worked. It was his last year at Texas A&M. And that was my first year as a sideline reporter at ESPN. So that was like 10 years ago or something. And
it's amazing. They let you work when you were 16.
I know, crazy, isn't it? Started early.
License, got the job at ESPN. That was a big year.
I remember standing. I remember standing on that sideline and at one point, like kind of standing behind the offense, which Coach Mack would be like, "Why would you stand there?" But I remember being like, He can't see anything. He can't see over that line. He is tiny. Yeah. He's smaller than you thought he was at that point. And I remember all those big boys up front. I'm like, he can't see anything. That's why he's always getting out of the pocket because he couldn't see over his line.
Right.
So, yeah, that affected him. Right, so that's not a problem for Anthony.
We told y'all forever that, see, he's listed at 6 feet tall.
No, he was not.
Yeah,
I'll have to go back and find the picture.
6 feet, 207. Pro Football Reference.
Whoa.
Play with cleats.
He was not 6 feet.
So we told y'all forever when we met Bryce Young at SEC Media Days that he wasn't
tiny.
6 feet. And he measured, 5'10"?
Yeah.
You mentioned talking, behind 6'5" offensive linemen.
That's
a thing.
Yep.
Right.
615-737-1045 at 3HL1045. Nick says on YouTube, so 3HL does the work of one carnival freak. Yeah, I guess so.
Pretty much.
They could save a lot of money if they just find that dude. Two with 3 heads and 1 mic. 2 turntables and a microphone. All right, James and Franklin. James, what's up? How are you?
Oh, good. How you doing?
Hey, good, James.
Yes, I was just saying the risk and reward
Yep.
was Steve McNair, because Steve McNair, when he came out of college, he went to a small college, and the Titan Oilers took a risk on him, man, and he performed. Would y'all agree or not agree?
Oh, of course.
I
Yeah.
hang up and listen
And,
to you.
the funny thing about Steve, and maybe people don't understand or don't remember or, aren't old enough, frankly. He came to the Oilers drafted him, and they had Chris Chandler as the starting quarterback. And Chris Chandler, you want to talk about not helping the backup rookie and then second-year guy? Because Steve sat for a couple of years. And you can't do that anymore.
Right.
Obviously, with these rookie contracts, you got to try to take advantage of that. But that was an interesting situation. No, Steve McNair, that's definitely one that panned out for sure. But
Third
overall.
Third
I remember
overall.
that draft, and I remember everybody pretty uniformly talking about how good Steve was.
Really?
Yeah. Steven, is Malik not our project, though? What do you do with him in taking a quarterback? I'd take a quarterback every year. I'm not ready to say he's not going to do it, but I'm also going to set up competition.
Guess how many years we say? I say give Malik 2. Still got another one. Prove yourself. You got to have some strides,
yeah,
though.
but I think you wanted to see a
You gotta
little
have
bit
some
of
strides.
progress
That's
in
what
one.
I'm saying. Yeah, you got to have some strides. Like, you had a great opportunity right there and didn't really, take that. I mean, yes, you had a terrible offensive line as well, but
Oof.
still got to make strides.
615-737-1045. Let's get real quick. Mike Tannenbaum also, he did put this out there. Hendon Hooker, number 5 overall to Seattle.
Didn't we talk to Tannenbaum?
We haven't talked to Tannenbaum yet.
We talked to
No,
him
at the Super Bowl.
Oh, at the
that's
Super
what I'm
Bowl.
saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I really liked him.
I did too.
I
He
feel
was-
like these takes are a little
This
crazy.
this is totally different from where he was.
I'm like, this is a different Tannenbaum than we talked to.
That's-
Did we just bring out the rational side of him?
That's
Because
what-
it sounds like he's out of control here.
That's what
Let
made
me
me
throw
ask.
this out here. Hendon Hooker off a torn ACL.
Maybe
Bam,
Tannenbaum-
here we go.
Maybe Tannenbaum has 3 heads with 3 different opinions, and we just didn't notice 2 of them.
That's what it is.
My
They were
gosh.
hidden behind this first head.
All right. So we'll take more phone calls in just a little bit. We're going to check in with Jim Wyatt when we come back. TennesseeTitans.com at Jay Wyatt Sports on Twitter. He is in Phoenix at the NFL owners meeting. There are rule changes that we need to talk about, some that are going through, some that will not. That's next. 3HL. Stay tuned. 104.5 The Zone, presented by Spring Hill Heating and Cooling. SpringHillAC.com. If you own a small business, you know the value of time. GetRefunds.com does too. That's why they've made it easy, no matter how busy you are, to apply for the Employee Retention Credit, or ERC. Go to GetRefunds.com to get started, and in less than 8 minutes, see if your business qualifies for ERC assistance. Your business may be eligible for a payroll tax refund of up to $26,000 per employee kept on payroll during COVID-19. GetRefunds.com has already helped clients claim over $3 billion in payroll tax refunds through the ERC, and they may be able to help your business too. There's no upfront charge either. They don't get paid until your business gets its refund. Many businesses believe that they will not qualify based off of incomplete or outdated information, so don't let this opportunity pass you by, because this payroll tax refund is only available for a limited time. Go to GetRefunds.com. That's GetRefunds.com.
All right, tournament is heating up. No better place to get in on the action than with FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. Right now, FanDuel is giving All y'all new customers, a no sweat first bet up to $1,000. What is that? That means it's $1,000 back in bonus bets if your first bet does not win. And all you have to do to join in on the action is go to FanDuel.com/Dawn. That's DAWN. Sign up today. Claim your no sweat first bet. And then you can wager on everything from money line, point spreads, which team will be cutting down the net. Maybe your bracket is done. It's busted. And you still want to enjoy and have some fun here. FanDuel. That's the way to go. FanDuel Sportsbook. I always tell you, America's #1 sportsbook. Their app is safe, their app is secure, and their app is very easy to use, which is why it's my choice. So don't miss your shot at a no-sweat first bet up to $1,000 when you join FanDuel today. Go to FanDuel.com/Dawn and sign up. Make every moment more with FanDuel. You do have to be 21 and older and present in Tennessee. First online real money wager only. $10 deposit required. Refund issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See full terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem? Tennessee Redline 1-800-889-9789.
Babs, it's like when you say, like, hey, Travis, this tastes awful. Taste it.
Like, why?
She sent us a link to a story, and she was all pissed off about it.
It's nasty.
And then we didn't click on it because she was all pissed off about it. And she was like, why didn't you click on it? We're like, because you were all pissed. I'm choosing not to get pissed off right now.
And we believe you.
Yeah.
Like,
we agree with you.
you won, Babs.
Whatever it is.
She don't want to win.
I want y'all to go look at it and talk about how ridiculous it was.
Join me in my misery.
Yeah. This tastes awful. Taste it. Would you like to identify the perp or no?
The perp? Oh, I'd be glad to. I'm sure everyone will be shocked that it's Phil Williams.
Yeah, there you go.
God.
You, Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. You know what? We totally need one that is just that. Like, I have never seen a, and I know this is radio, so let me go ahead and put my air quotes up, journalist, because he's not a journalist anymore. He used to be like 3 or 4 years ago. Now all he does is spread hatred and division and all of that. It was like an hour after the victims' names came out, and he puts up like some old story that he did on gun control, and his phrasing was basically like Tennessee, government hates children. I'm like, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Like, you miserable, heartless man.
Discussions and everything, but man, that was phrased not well.
No, the way he like phrased the tweet, and the fact that, I mean, literally it was an hour after the victims' names came out that we just said nothing about the victims.
There's a time for discussions. Let's love on these families.
Let's do that.
All right, Jim Wyatt joins us from Phoenix at J Wyatt Sports Tennessee.
Oh, sorry, Jimmy. I know
Jimmy?
you didn't want to come in on the back end of that. Sorry, Jimmy.
How's Phoenix, Jim?
Phoenix is about the way it was last time you guys were out here back in February. Sunny skies,
Pretty good.
Good weather, a lot of activity out here. So it's been a busy couple of days at the owners' meetings, and now I think everybody's looking to hit the road to head back to their respective cities. But it was just amazing to me what a big event this has turned into be, and certainly got to spend some time with Mike Vrabel and Ryan Carthon and Amy Adams-Strunk yesterday, and so it's been a good representation from the Titans.
Yeah, so for those that don't know what goes on at an NFL owners meeting, can you kind of put us in the building, so to speak?
Well, there's a lot. I mean, there are different, groups that, it's not just Amy Adams-Strunk and Mike Vrabel and Rand Carthon. You got Burke Nihills here, and you've got Gil Beverly, and you got Dan Worley, and I could keep going on with a long list of people here representing the Titans, Adolfo Birch, and all of them have got different, groups that they meet with, either to kind of do some forward thinking on changes across the league and to brainstorm, but also you've got rules that need to be passed and bylaws that need to be changed and competition committee stuff that goes on. So you've got a gathering of people from every team that work in different capacities, and then throw the media into it, who is here trying to track down their GMs, head coaches, and that creates for certainly a lot of activities. The AFC coaches, all of them, have a media breakfast on Monday morning, and the NFC coaches all have a media breakfast on Tuesday morning, and it's 30 minutes of media asking them different questions about what's going on with the team. And Matt LaFleur drew the biggest crowd today, talking about Aaron Rodgers. Yesterday was Harbaugh talking about Lamar Jackson. It's just kind of a potpourri of all kinds of activity that goes on. And it used to be a small event. I didn't go when I was with the Tennessee. I started going when I was with the Titans in 2015. It's still unbelievable to me just how much has changed in that short amount of time.
So you said, Jimmy, you spent some time with Rand Carthon and Mike Vrabel. What have you learned from those two in the last day?
Well, I think with Rand, and for both of them, it was the first time, for both of them to talk about what's happened this offseason and the free agent acquisitions. And I thought it was interesting to hear Rand talk about this group of 6 that they've signed so far, and they're drawing a parallel to their careers and maybe Mike Vrabel's career, where he went to Pittsburgh early in his career, carved out a nice role for himself, but wanted more opportunities, and he got that when he went to New England and blossomed into a Pro Bowl type player. And they think the group that they've brought in here has a chance to do that. So, I mean, it was interesting to hear that perspective there. They obviously, got a lot of questions about the current state of the roster, coming from me. Obviously you got to ask about Ryan Tannehill and Jeffrey Simmons and Kevin Byard and Derrick Henry. And I think Mike Vrabel and Rand Carthon both kind of chose their words carefully, talking about the quarterback position in part because of what happened last year with A.J. Brown. And you just can't be too definitive in March because you just don't know what's going to happen moving forward. But I thought they made it pretty clear that they like Ryan Tannehill. They trust Ryan Tannehill. They know they could do a lot worse than Ryan Tannehill. And their plan right now is for him to be the quarterback. But, always, you just never know what's going to happen. And I kind of think they struck a similar tone on other, players because, they're just unwilling to make guarantees of who's on, who's not.
Jim, are you hearing any rumblings from coaches and GMs about these rules changes? Or any one of them stick out to you or to anybody that you've heard?
Not too much. They tabled they passed the rule change, but would have maybe, made touchbacks on punts come out to the 25-yard line and, held off on making reviewable play like roughing the quarterback, making that reviewable. The biggest, most noteworthy thing, I think, at least from fan perspective, they always think it's interesting is the number 0 is now going to be in play, moving forward, except for offensive linemen and defensive linemen. And, that'll be interesting just to see who elects to do that. I mean, that's obviously new and exciting. And I think Calvin Ridley already says he's wearing it. Others, I'd be curious to see who else maybe jumps into that fray.
Another rule that caught my eye, one cut day, 90-53, Tuesday, August 29th this season, 1184, the number of players that theoretically would get cut on that day if everybody waited until the last second, which they won't. What did you think about that one?
Yeah, I mean, I think, it's great that you're allowed to keep everybody until so late because it has made it tough to some degree. I mean, they used to go from 90 to 75. I think we went to 90 to 80 and gives you a little bit more flexibility late in those preseason games to have more players at your disposal to play. I think from a player's perspective, I think, sometimes you would, when the guy's set free earlier, it kind of gives them a chance to find, have somebody single them out, or it gives them a chance to potentially open some teams' eyes up before you're flooded with all those players like you talked about. I think that's interesting, but I'll just be curious to see how that impacts things moving forward. Like I think with the Titans, I mean, I'm spinning it back to them on certain positions, but I think everybody builds a roster in March and builds a roster in the draft, and then you finalize that roster getting close to the season. And I think teams like the Titans and across the league are always wait and see who is going to be available after final cuts. And when you've got so many coming at the same time, I think it makes things a little bit more difficult, and then you're going to have a free-for-all trying to claim those guys.
Appreciate you, Jimmy. At J. Wyatt Sports, safe travels back, and people can get all of your content, TennesseeTitans.com, the NFL owners meetings in Phoenix. Really appreciate you checking in, bro.
Okay, you guys have a good one. Thank you.
All right,
Thanks, Jimmy.
When we come back, we need to get Slay's take on the Final Four matchups. Somebody told me there were 37 brackets that were perfect or something, or that had this Final Four. Not
That's
perfect.
crazy.
There's 0 perfect left. Yeah.
0 perfect. Yeah, that's never happening.
That's crazy.
But
with this Final Four.
But this Final Four, that blows my mind. But I want to get your take on it. Is it an attractive Final Four? It certainly is unexpected. We'll do that next. 3HL 1045 The Zone.
Good afternoon from the Superbook.com sports desk. I'm Joe Honk. The NFL League meetings happening right now in Phoenix. Some things that have been approved so far. Hey, players can wear now the number 0, so that's kind of cool. All right, be honest with you, the Jags had this picture already planned because maybe 30 seconds after the news dropped that players could wear 0, the Jaguars announced that Calvin Ridley will be the first player to wear the number coming up next season. You know, passing or roughing the passer, how we all just say, hey, that needs to be reviewable. The owners don't agree. In fact, they actually turned that down. That will not be happening in 2023. But what will happen is that instead of cut down days after every single preseason game, there will now just be one, and it will happen after the final preseason game. Teams will go from 90 players to 53 on August 29th. For all your foundation repair waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Vols, the flagship station for your Tennessee Titans, and home to 3HL. This is 104.5 The Zone.
HL 104.5 The Zone. Britt Doherty, Don Davenport, Ron Slay. By the way, for the first time in 2 days, we can maybe get back into this. Don Davenport is sitting here, right here. She's right here.
That's bunk. That's bunk. Twitch, please. Twitch, please. Twitch, please.
You all right over there, Babsy?
I'm good.
Pink headphones.
I was just noticing, if you are watching on Zone TV, we love y'all. Hunk puts the camera up early, like when he's doing his headlines.
Yeah, so he can show himself.
I didn't realize that the camera was on, so I'm like shoving Cheez-Its in my mouth.
I mean, how else
As the camera's on, I'm like, oh.
To be fair, how else do you do Cheez-Its? It's not like you put one
I mean,
in
you
there.
have, right?
You take them and you put them in the trash is what you do.
Oh, get out of here.
Oh, get out of here.
Turn
get
your
out of
mic
here with
off
that.
the rest
That
of the
is
day.
bunk.
You know, I ain't too far away from Hunk on that, but I like the white cheddar. I like the white cheddar ones.
The white cheddar ones are
The white
good.
cheddar ones.
No, those are too much for me. I like the dull taste of the regular cheese.
Nah, I'm cool on that.
Anyway, so I'm
Brandon,
sorry that you saw
that
me
was-
stuff my mouth with Cheez-Its
That
on
was
Zone TV.
kind of a sinister
That
laugh, wasn't
was.
it?
That's heads. That's all it was.
Anthony Richardson has no roof, just like this guy. Ron Slay.
Hey, I'm in the building. Best believe I'm in the building. You better be ready. I'm in the building. I ain't got no roof.
Time for the
Is this
Let's
the
get it on.
original?
No, I'm in the. No,
I
I'm in the
like
building.
this one. Oh, that's right.
This is the first remix, though.
We haven't used this one in a while.
remix.
Like 2 or 3.
This is the
remixes.
first remix.
Yeah.
I like
remix
it.
intros. Whoa. I didn't even notice that part.
You gotta watch it. Go there on, don't play, man. He'll give you something to walk out the room with.
The Hunk just let it go longer than normal, maybe. I don't know.
He kind of toned it down.
Thinking about his hatred for Cheez-Its. Chris Lowe coming up at 4:20. We'll talk about the Final Four. What, Hunk?
Oh, that's not
It's
right.
like goldfish.
I'll get a new hat.
Dude, look, I'm telling you guys, I'm letting you know now, if you see something that I'm wearing and it's new-ish. It's only new to me because I'd buy everything off eBay. I just got this in a few days ago.
Wait,
New.
you
That
bought a
means it's
used
new.
hat?
Oh, I buy everything off eBay.
Wait,
90%
somebody
of my
else
wardrobe
wore
is
that
from eBay.
hat?
eBay?
Yes.
No, dude.
You gotta go to
I've never
Poshmark.
known that.
No, underwear
eBay's
and hats.
old.
Stay away from the used part. I don't want
I
you.
washed the hat like 3 times.
As Jerry
How do you
Seinfeld
wash
said,
a hat?
I don't want your boys touching.
Whoa, wait,
Underwear
what?
and hats.
Okay.
Underwear and hats. Stay away from used.
Underwear, I agree. You go to the thrift store and you see the underwear section, you just kind of look at it like, oh.
Do they really have that?
That's what I was
Yes.
gonna say. Do they?
Yes.
Well, everybody needs underwear. Like everybody needs affordable underwear. And listen, there's some. Why are y'all looking at me like that?
Listen, man, if I got to go used underwear, I'm going
I'm
no
going
underwear.
Free me up.
Oh my gosh!
Unlock
Unlock the door.
I cannot believe this is where this conversation
That's where we're
is.
going on that one.
I mean, I have donated before.
Underwear?
Yes.
What?
But because like
I
you,
can to the Salvation
Hold
Army
on.
or something, Babsy, but
yeah, no,
not
to
to
Goodwill.
get sold.
Well, yeah, to Goodwill, and then they turn around and sell it. But listen, it's because you open underwear, you wash it,
Pandora's
you get it
box.
ready, and then maybe you don't like it and you don't ever wear it. So of course you're gonna that's good underwear that somebody else can wear.
No, I'm wearing all my underwear. I ain't never selling mine. You lucky if I throw mine away.
You don't buy underwear on eBay.
No, I do not buy underwear on
Hats
eBay.
too, dude, man. People
hey.
can have lice or something.
That's why you wash it.
How do you wash it? Do you wash it in a dishwasher?
No, you just put it in the washing machine. You throw just like you're washing your clothes. You pull it out afterwards. You don't dry it because if you dry the hat, it'll shrink it. And then you just put it off to the side, let it air dry, and when it's dry, it's good to go.
It looks good.
Look,
See? I got it for like $8.
Tara Bell donated undies this past weekend.
Thank y'all, Terry.
Maybe that's a female thing. Dudes don't need to be doing that.
Yeah, shout out to y'all. I'll donate them to, like, the Salvation Army and places like that. Like,
there's plenty of things you can donate, man.
I've bought Tennessee stuff from listeners of the Zone on eBay.
Oh, speaking of, somebody sent us a big box of stuff. Where's that box?
It's in here. I've opened it.
A listener sent us a big box of stuff.
Guys, there's stuff in here. There's CDs.
Oh.
There are golf balls. There's a capuchin monkey. There's all this stuff in here.
No,
Who
so
is it from?
somebody called me.
It was a listener.
And first of all, I don't know how you got my number.
on your cell phone?
Called my cell phone.
He called you on your cell phone.
And said, could I speak to Ron? He said, could I speak to Ron Slay? And I acted like I wasn't Ron Slay.
How did you answered your phone not recognizing the number?
No,
I never do that.
That's why I usually don't do it. But as of late, I kind of did it. But anyway, I answered and I was like, yeah, hello. He was like, hey, I'm trying to get in touch with Ron Slay. And then he just went on, so I didn't have to say, well, this ain't Ron Slay. He was like, man, you guys trying to send you some stuff on the radio. You got an address over there? I was like,
do you know the address here?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
So I went on and gave him the address, and he was like, all right, I'm going to send you guys some stuff. I'm going to put, I guess, attention to 3HL
Yeah,
or
it's
something.
attention 3HL.
Oh, you brokered this deal.
Yeah, I didn't even know it.
But, Hunk, you already opened it without us?
Well, I did because I've talked to the listener that called you. I've talked to him like 3 or 4 times because I've also given him the address.
Did you give him my number? How did you get my number?
I didn't give your number.
Honk.
Like, that's what we can't skate
Hey, you better
over
not
that
be
right
giving
there.
out my number.
No, if there's a number I'm giving out, it is totally Dawn's.
Like, my number ain't hard to find, but I'm just saying.
I mean,
I'm like, I still have my same
business.
cell phone number from my junior year in high school.
my cell phone number is on my business card.
I see.
Oh.
But mine ain't on nothing.
I'm accessible.
What would you get my number?
I don't even know what your number is. You're in my phone as Slay.
Slay, you may have a rep that knows the guy.
That could be it. But then he
yeah.
would have known he was calling me.
It's probably Will in the Ville.
He could be Will.
Just call him out.
No, yeah, that's right.
Sorry, Will.
But he would have called and said, "Hey, Slay." If he knew he had my number,
He knew. He got it from somewhere.
he thought this was the office.
Man, you know how many numbers I've gotten, and I just call them, and nobody ever asks, like, how'd you get my number?
I need to know.
Well, you should have
Because
asked.
there was a listener. But
You should have asked him.
But then it would have been like, why are you prying? Like you.
Why are you prying? Well, it's my number.
Yeah, but I'm acting like I'm in the office.
All right, Final Four.
Final four.
Coming up Saturday, April 1st, April Fool's Day, 5:09 p.m. Why 5:09?
I said Jake from Brentwood maybe gave it to
It
him.
maybe did.
He didn't know it. He's probably talking to somebody else, thought he was talking to somebody.
Maybe Bubba gave it to Jake, and Jake didn't even know who Bubba was, and then he
Passed it out.
Yeah. Number 9, Florida Atlantic took out Tennessee. Here they are in the Final Four. 5, San Diego State, who is a problem defensively.
Yeah.
And then the nightcap, 7:49 p.m. on CBS. Number 5, Miami. We've talked about the 4 guards, and they're all of the production. And number 4 seed, UConn. What do you think about these matchups? Are you good with like none? Well, UConn's a power basketball brand, but outside of that,
man, I am fine with it. And one thing I think it shows when you look across college basketball, you didn't really have a whole lot of guys averaging 20 and 19 and stuff like that, and just being dominant. You look at these teams outside of UConn and Isaiah Wong, like nobody else is averaging more than 14 points. You got 3 or 4 guys, some teams 5 or 6 guys in double figures. You got to love that right there because that's the parity. And I'll accept that right now. Yes, I do want Blue Bloods back in it at some point. But right now, I think this is good for the game. Yeah, this is good. This is good for the game, man. Because it shows what the transfer portal does. It shows what that fifth-year senior does coming into teams and getting it going. Florida, and what all these teams have in common, they all have a go-to guy.
Man, we've been talking about that.
You got to have a guy when things get tight and you can't run your offensive sets because at this point, like all the details are out. The scouting report is out. They know what you can and can't do. You got to have somebody to just go get a bucket. Miami has Wong. UConn has two guys. And speaking
Jordan
of UConn,
Hawkins, Andre Jackson.
Hawkins, man, he has one of the, and it's funny he went to UConn, he has one of the prettiest shots I've seen since Ray Allen. Like Ray Allen's shot was this pretty in college. This young man, when I say flamethrower, oh my gosh, his balance, release, height on his shot, everything is beautiful watching that. And then when you look at Florida Atlantic, they have the kid John L. Davis, the young man John L. Davis, and then San Diego State, they have a guy that can go get a bucket and Tremel. So both of these guys, neither one of them average over 12 points. That's what's funny. But when you need them to go get a bucket, they go get a bucket. Beautiful.
That's so weird.
It is.
Yeah, Jordan Hawkins 20-6, 20.6 boards as UConn blasted Gonzaga. Drew Timme got in foul trouble, sat down. This is really interesting. UConn ran downhill when he left in the second half. He left with 17:39 to go, and UConn was leading by 10, 44-34. But UConn went on a 26-10 run, and that was it.
Because they played Dior.
And I kept thinking, dude, bring him in. Like, who am I to question Mark Few? That guy's won tons of games, right? But you mentioned the fact that what happens to Gonzaga is they come across better athletes the deeper they get into these tournaments.
Especially in the front court.
Yes.
Yep.
And Timme, I mean, he did play 31 minutes and only had 12 points.
But leading up to that, every time he's going to have his way because usually he's going against a younger guy, more less experience. So his footwork and everything gets him by. He knows how to use angles. When he plays against a guy his size and as athletic as him, it gives him trouble every time.
Florida Atlantic slipped past Kansas State 79-76. That was a fun game. The 5'8" K-State point guard had 30 and 12. 30 points and 12 assists.
Oh, gosh, man, that boy can play.
But he gave up the ball at the end. That shocked me.
Yep.
I think it shocked the guy that he threw it to.
Probably so.
Immediately turned it over.
I bet if he could do it again, he'd probably shoot it. But, man.
And then Miami went on a 13-2 run to take a 73-72 lead after trailing 70-60 with 8:55 to go.
Had that.
Yep. The game was tied at 79 with a minute to go. Miami closed 9-2. All five Miami starters were in double figures. Jordan Miller had 27. 7 for 7 from the floor, 13 of 13 from the line. And then San Diego State in the Final Four, they beat Creighton 57-56. Aztecs were fouled with 1 second to go. Trammell missed the first free throw, but made the second to win it and send his team to the Final Four.
And you know what about Miami? The two guys that stepped up in this tournament for them, they're NIL big guys. NIL big money guys. Isaiah Wong and
There's
Jordan
a lot
Miller.
of talk. Miami as a whole, women and men's side, just went all in on NIL. There's a lot of talk about it, and some Miami people are kind of annoyed by the fact that is the talk.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep. But hey, it's part of the game.
Well,
Everybody
it
else
is
get
now.
with it. You got the same opportunities. Yep. So, yeah.
All right, Chris Lowe coming up next. We'll talk more about the Final Four. That's coming up. Stay tuned. 3HL 104.5 The Zone.
What's happening, good people? Spring Hill Heating and Cooling. Time to get that temperature under control, or better yet, get the weather under control in your house. Yes, you can stop it from raining. You can stop it from sleeting. You can stop it from being cold or hot.
Well, those are issues in your house.
Hey, ain't it? I'm telling you. Especially if you ain't got a roof. But if you do, you can control it with Spring Hill Heating and Cooling. They are the heating and cooling company that can take care of all your HVAC needs, Babsy.
Yes, and obviously we are now heading into spring. It's going to get hot. And maybe you know that that AC unit isn't going to be working like it should, and it's time for a replacement. Don't wait until the peak of summer. Spring Hill Heating and Cooling offers free service calls with their repairs, plus low monthly payments on those repairs. So here's the deal. You need a new unit. They have you covered. Get it done now. You get 18 months of no payment. You buy a new unit today, you won't have to pay for it until August of 2024. Seems like a no-brainer.
That does. And you talking about family-owned and operated, that's who I want to trust my business with. 20 years of experience ever since 2011. It's here. Spring Hill Heating and Cooling. You got to do what, Babsy?
SpringHillAC.com. Call them.
It is that time of year again when the housing market starts to heat up with rates and home prices coming, well, finally down over where they were last year. Accurate Mortgage is predicting that competition for homes among buyers may be at least as fierce as last year, if not more. So now is the time to get pre-qualified for an Accurate Mortgage home loan so you can be one step ahead of your competition and win the house of your dreams. Accurate Mortgage has many options to help make your new mortgage more affordable, such as their payment reduction mortgage, perfect for easing into your new payment. Let's see. What did Krista B have to say? She said, super easy to get the process started, and we're there from start to finish at Accurate Mortgage. They never made us feel like any question was dumb, and we felt very comfortable talking with them. We closed on our home in 19 days. They are the definition of a dream team. I cannot thank them enough. That's what's going on at Accurate Mortgage. For more details, visit Accurate Mortgage today, AccurateMTG.com. Accurate Mortgage Group, a division of Acopia LLC, is an equal housing lender. NMLS number 4664. 3HL 104.5 The Zone. Final Four field is set. Coming up this weekend, coming up on Saturday, as a matter of fact, Florida Atlantic against San Diego State. So Florida Atlantic or San Diego State will play for a national title.
Oh, you want me to choose it right now? You want me to pause it right now? Or you just wait.
Let's see what Chris Lowe has to say. Maybe he'll change your mind.
No.
You hear that, Chris? Total disrespect. Chris Lowe, ESPN.com, at CLO ESPN. Chris, what's up? How are you?
I know Slay had FAU, San Diego State on his original bracket, so don't let him fool you.
What up, CeeLo?
I did have UConn. That's like probably the least like. I had UConn and Kansas State. I really thought Kansas State would go, but yeah.
I will say this, in all honesty. I was in Orlando for the first 2 rounds, and San Diego State was there. And I got a chance to watch them play, and I remember thinking to myself, well, this is a tough, physical, rugged defensive team. And it was clear that they weren't going to be intimidated by anybody. And I didn't know they'd go and run off the kind of, have the kind of run they did. But you could tell they were well coached. They weren't going to back down from anybody. And really, that's the way they played to this point.
Yeah, we talked about on Friday before that game with Alabama that was a bad matchup for Alabama. Not necessarily that Alabama would lose, but we were like, don't be surprised if this does not go well, because Alabama just typically this season, when they struggled, it was against teams that played that physical style and got up in you defensively, like Tennessee, for example.
Well, I don't know who I talked to about this. I think the Tennessee tape is probably, first of all, it's not just the one the San Diego State pulled out, but I'm sure all teams that played Alabama from that point on probably looked at and scanned as deep as they possibly could, because that's essentially how San Diego State played against them. Now, that's easier said than done, because Alabama's so talented, and when they're shooting the ball, but when you have your best player go 3 for 19.
3 for 19.
In the tournament in March, then, all bets are off.
Yeah, I didn't anticipate. We talked about that part too, because they didn't shoot well against Maryland either.
Yep.
And less than 40% from the floor, less than 30% from 3, and they won a tournament game by more points than anyone that had done that in tournament history. I thought there was no way that Alabama would shoot like that two games in a row.
Yeah. No, I didn't either. You go back to when it became public that the Brandon Miller information, when that became public, from that point on, Alabama had some good games, but they also had some games where there were lulls and they didn't play great in spurts. And I think if you go back to that point to all the way into the tournament, there were some warts, when you looked at them, because there were times this season, guys, when I watched them play, and I said, "There's nobody going to beat these guys."
Mm-hmm.
And then from that point on, though, you saw some things that you said, "Uh-oh," if you sort of saw some vulnerability.
Yeah, you did. Looking at it also with the way Miami got there and looking at the Final Four, Texas, did we expect that to happen? Like, Texas looked like they had it in their grasp, and Coach Larinaga, he just figures out a way, don't he?
Is there a more underrated coach in college basketball than Jim Larinaga?
I think most people in the country don't know who he is.
Like George Mason run was what, 20 years ago?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the point. You could go around, West Coast, East Coast, Midwest, and talk to hoops junkies and say, now I'm not talking about necessarily people who cover the sport for a living, but just people who are big college basketball fans,
right?
And say, name me the top 10 college basketball coaches in the country. I bet you on 80% of those lists, they would not list Jim Larinaga.
Yep.
And yet, look at what he's done at different places. So, no, he's done a terrific job. I think his teams play to his personality. He can be a little crusty. He's tough. Tough-minded guy who's been at it for a long time. I don't think he's not a big mug for the camera kind of coach, and his teams just play and they get it done. And they're very much down to business. I think you look at what Miami's done in this run to the Final Four. That's the way they play basketball.
Mm-hmm. When you look at UConn, and you've been watching them for a while, CeeLo, man, have you seen a team more balanced right now, the way they're playing? When you talk about an inside threat and the big fella Sagono, and then Hawkins, the way he shoots. Like, I just said before you came on, he resembles Ray Allen so much as far as shooting goes at UConn. Man, it's a pretty shot.
So I talked to some guys early in the tournament, maybe like a round in or one game in, and they told me, hey, what's UConn? Just because of what you're saying, how balanced they are. They've got the inside-outside deal. They've got guys in around the rim who can get it done on both sides of the ball. I said a minute ago about Larinaga being the most underrated coach. As far as the basketball program over the last, a decade and a half, who's done more than UConn?
Right.
Certainly the last 2 decades. When you look at how many championships they won, they had a little bit of a lull there, but they've done it under different coaches. I think it's a program that has a lot of tradition, but when you start talking about blue bloods in college basketball right now, most people are going to say, what, Kentucky, North Carolina, Duke, UCLA. They're probably not going to mention UConn when, in fact, when you look at who's done what on the court and who's won championships over the last decade and a half or 2 decades, UConn's right up there with anybody.
Yeah.
So are you intrigued by this Final Four?
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's what makes this tournament, a little bit different than anything else in sports. Is, this would never, we get ready to go to 12 teams in football at 24. I dare say you're not going to see this kind of thing happen in football, in college football. But in basketball, it's possible. You can see a George Mason in the Final Four. You can see a Loyola. You can see a San Diego State. You can see a Florida Atlantic. You can see an NC State 40 years ago have to win its conference tournament just to get into the tournament and win the whole thing. You can see Villanova beat, the juggernaut, Georgetown in '85. Those things happen. I mean, it's not fairy tale. They really happen in the college basketball tournament. I don't think in college football you're going to see that happen. And it does happen in the basketball tournament. It happens time and time and time again.
Let me ask you something away from that, CeeLo. Do you think when the COVID year is done that we'll go back to seeing how the Blue Bloods were as far as, the freshmen and the sophomores, the one-and-dones kind of carrying Blue Blood programs and them making it that far? Because the parity with that fifth-year COVID year, man, I think it's done wonders for these mid-major programs and teams that are not really noticed. Does it go back to where it was before we had the COVID year for these fifth-year guys?
Yeah, I think there's more of a chance of that happening this way because it still gets down to being play.
Yeah.
And the talent. And if you've got guys as freshmen and teams aren't able to sort of stockpile the kind of experience that you're talking about because of the COVID year, it's still going to get down to who's got the best 3 or 4 guys, best 2 or 3 guys in basketball. And I do think that if you're able to recruit at that highest level and you're going up against teams that don't all of a sudden have 3, 4, 5 guys who played together, for 3 years, which is really up until the COVID thing happened, never really happened. Guys were gone after 1 year or certainly after 2 years. And now you got all these guys with extra years of eligibility has sort of helped some of these teams do that, and the transfer portal. I think that's the other new variable in all this is you're able to go out and get guys, even the mid majors. You're able to go and get some guys, and you can make up if you lose a guy. Let's say you're a San Diego State or you're a Furman, and you lose a really good player to maybe an upper tier school, an SEC school, or a Big Ten school. You're able to go replenish that a little bit easier than you would have in the past before the transfer portal.
Right.
Chris Lowe with us on 3HL at CeeLo ESPN. Chris, appreciate the time, man. Always enjoy the visits, and we'll see how it all plays out on Saturday.
Yeah, can I say this, guys? I want you to know, and I know everybody in Nashville shares these same sentiments. My prayers go out, my heartfelt prayers go out to everybody there, community, the families, and I just hope we all tonight, before we go to bed, hug the ones that we love the most a little longer, a little tighter.
Thank you, Chris. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Well said. At CeeLo ESPN. All right, so who you got? As we sit here on Tuesday, and you have room to change opinion.
Yeah.
But as we sit here currently, I have no idea on these matchups.
Oh, I do. And I've been hitting too.
By the way, San Diego State -2, favored by 2 over Florida Atlantic. UConn favored by 5.5 against Miami.
Yeah, give me those two. San Diego State for the win. And I do think that'll be a low-scoring game. And UConn versus Miami, most definitely you expect that to hit the over. But I think UConn comes out. UConn playing too well, man. This is how they were playing in November. They have a tournament field night where it gets the top 5, top 10 teams to come in preseason and play in the tournament up there in Portland. And they were up there and they dominated then. And Alabama was in that tournament. They dominated Alabama. So a lot of teams were in that tournament then. UConn just hit a lull in the season, and now they've been able to pick it back up. And they're rolling, man. So I got UConn versus San Diego State. Then everybody will have to wait till Monday to find out who win the championship. But I'm just saying, Paul Slay been rolling. I've been texting Yorl and them, and AB letting them know what the Paul Slay doing. Paul Slay, all right. It's all right. You might want to get in on this, Babsy.
Well, you got something
Take you
tonight?
seriously with your shake stirring over there with your pinky up.
He's got a dainty stir with his soup in a cup over here.
That's good.
That's a coffee cup from here, but it's got like green stuff in it.
Yeah, I could show everybody.
And he stirs it literally for like 20 minutes.
That's to get all the flavors in there.
And then eats it in like 30 seconds.
You know why? You know why I stir it like this? Because I used to love the movie, what's my movie? With,
Hocus Pocus?
No, my girl. That's Miss Duffy. That's my girl. But the other one, that come in with the umbrella. Take a fly.
Mary Poppins.
Mary Poppins, boy. I mean, Mary Poppins coming there and get a little tea. And her homeboy come above the roof. They've been doing the chimneys all night.
Jerry Lee Lewis.
Yeah, man. I guess.
Dick Van Dyke.
Oh, Dick Van Dyke. Dick Van Dyke. Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. But yeah, he coming out with the black suit.
One of the
black soot all over his face.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. They give him some little tea.
Hey, Slay, I have a question for you.
What?
That stuff that you're stirring right now, where'd it come from?
Awaken 180.
And Awaken 180 sponsors who?
CeeLo that just joined us.
Good job.
Way to go, Hunk.
Thank you.
He's back up producing.
I mean, you still didn't make up for your Cheez-It take, but.
Yeah. Who was a better? So, man, I was about to go way off. I was about to go way off. I was going to say, who was a better little housekeeper? Mary Poppins or Miss Doubtfire?
That is random.
Yeah,
I got another random one for you.
Look at
Hazel,
my
which was another show back in the day in
Hazel.
black and white. Hazel's, yeah, she'd clean the house.
No, I don't know.
I love to clean the house.
Poppins
honestly.
can
I don't
fly.
know that one.
Poppins can fly.
Look it up. Her name was Shirley Booth. Played Hazel.
Doubtfire could switch up on you in voices and everything.
Well, I mean, Robin Williams is a comedic genius.
That's what I'm saying.
And a dramatic
Are you
genius.
really comparing Robin Williams or Mrs. Doubtfire to a woman that can fly?
Yeah, they both had big bags. Mary Poppins had a big black
Technically,
one.
Mrs. Doubtfire had two big bags.
She showed that their purse. The purse don't count. It wasn't like Babsy's.
615-737-1045. We need somebody to take us away from Mary Poppins talk.
Please.
What was Dick Van Dyke's character's name? I don't even remember.
Golly, I'm going to watch it. Don't worry.
See, he just gets overshadowed by Pop.
Are you talking about the chimney
Mary
guy?
Poppins.
It was Bert.
That was his name, wasn't
Wasn't it Bert?
It might have been Bert.
I'm pretty sure it's
It might have
Bert.
been Bert. Bert and his homeboys up there
Chim,
singing
I've
on
got
the
it.
rooftops.
Chimney,
Chim,
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 chim.
chiroo.
I told y'all.
I'm about to have to break.
It was Bert, by the way.
Was it Bert? Yeah,
Yes.
See, good job,
I'm gonna have to
Babsy.
break Mary Poppins out for Hats.
see?
Yeah, for
You
baby
gotta call
Babs.
me over when you do that, Babs.
Yeah.
Saving Mr. Banks, watch it. It'll
All
make
right.
you cry.
Let's keep this going. Jake in Brentwood. Jake, have you seen Mary
Lord.
Poppins?
No. Yeah, of course I have.
No,
Hey, chitty chitty bang bang.
Oh,
Chitty,
Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. That was the jam back in the day. Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Would you quit saying that? You're going to say it wrong.
I know. Good call, Jake.
Sure was.
Double D's, like, she is all about the chitty chitty bang bang.
Yeah, it's awesome. Hey,
And
Jake.
by the way, no car can really fly. FYI.
Who?
Have you seen Back to the Future?
Yeah,
come on,
I can't.
Jake.
What about bed knobs and
And
broomsticks? Ooh,
Angela Lansbury.
that was a good one.
Man, that was cold.
Yeah, Jake, have you seen that one?
Y'all don't know nothing about these fairy
Nope,
tales.
he doesn't.
stories.
I know Murder, She Wrote, Angela Lansbury.
You know,
brother used to watch that every day.
To be honest with you, man, Back to the Future is killer.
Yeah.
Yeah, flying cars.
I absolutely love Michael. I did, man.
Michael J. Fox.
He,
Hey, he's from Canada. Check that out, Buck.
What?
Yep.
I didn't know that. Hey, Jake, did you
He played hockey. Michael J. Fox.
Oh,
Yep.
did you give out Slay's phone number?
I did.
I knew it.
After Bubba called me and let me know what it was, I said, I put it on Tinder.
Well,
Or
thanks to that,
was it Bumble?
Hey, Jake. So let me
I think
let me ask you
Bumble's
this.
the new one.
So
Okay.
if I had to tell you one of these guys would not be on the Titans roster next year, which one would it be? Ryan Tannehill, Derrick Henry, or Kevin Byard?
Not Tannehill. Not. I'd say Henry.
You'd say Henry.
Not gonna be on.
Yeah.
I think so. I mean, I really don't think any of them actually.
They'll all be
My
here.
question is, my question is this: like, what are we doing with Willis? I mean, it's like he's over there. I don't know.
What we doing, Willis?
I thought you were talking about
We
different
talking about
strokes.
Willis,
for
what you
someone.
doing?
We
Yeah.
talking about Willis.
Malik.
Come on, Willis.
Todd Bridges.
Come on, Willis.
I interviewed that guy one time. It's phenomenal.
Todd Bridges.
Oh, he's been through a lot.
At the Super Bowl?
I know it was on the song.
No, I don't even remember why. He just called in one day.
Oh, you live here?
Like Jim Nance style?
No.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about.
I think he wrote a book or something. I don't know. We're distracting you, Jake. I'm sorry.
Sorry, Jake.
No, the funny thing is, I've got people who kind of figured out who I am, and they go, when you call in to this radio station, it is as if you were talking to me. You're just talking to friends. I was like, yeah, that's how it works.
That's
how we do it.
exactly what you're doing. Yeah, bingo.
Yeah, we just cutting it up.
You going to watch the Final Four this weekend?
I'll be honest with you.
Don't do me wrong.
I will. Yes. Yeah. No. I will. But here's the thing. Every team that I thought could possibly be there. You know what? You guys brought up a good thing about the COVID. These older teams.
Mm-hmm.
Ron, correct me if I'm wrong. But these guys are like 28 years old playing,
They ain't that old. They up there. They up
Check
there,
out Joe
Jake.
Lewis. He was 137 years old.
Joe Lewis.
Yeah. They're so old, they're like the Harlem Globetrotters.
Yeah, they definitely up there, Jake.
He said the Harlem
Globetrotters, yeah.
It is. It's silly. I mean, these guys are like, they're men, and they don't.
That's very true.
The whole tournament thing doesn't fear them at all. They're like, whatever.
So that's true.
You're right. You're absolutely right about that.
All right, Jake.
Thanks,
hey,
Jake.
have a good weekend.
All right, guys. See you. Love you.
Love you, brother.
Love you, bro. There he is, Jake and Brentwood.
Today. What's today?
Tuesday.
Yeah.
Tuesday. It's been the longest week ever.
No, I was wondering what. Yeah, right. It has. I was wondering why Jake called. It was Tuesday.
He calls on Tuesdays.
Calls on this weekend.
The reason why I told him have a nice weekend is because that's what he usually says.
On
That's
Tuesday. It's
So
always
I
on Tuesday. Yep.
I just take it out of his hands.
We don't even know who to give shout outs to for this stuff.
Yeah, I think there's an address on it. Or just call that number back. They called you.
I could.
Yeah, we got a big box of stuff we're going to go through during the break. All right, when we come back, more 3HL next on 104.5 The Zone. Talking about big basketball games coming up, you need to get in on it like me and Slay do. You need to hear what I have to say right now. You spend valuable time thinking about which bets to place each week, so why wouldn't you want the best company in the business to be the one who handles those bets? Superbook Sports, the most trusted name in Las Vegas, and it's live right here in Tennessee for all of your sports betting needs. Superbook has a team of dedicated odds makers behind the counter in Las Vegas setting all of their prices. We're talking about guys with decades of experience showing you why Superbook has the best odds around. And right now, you can look ahead to the hockey and hoops postseasons and place a bet on who you think will take home the titles. So download the Superbook Sports app. I did it. Heard Slay talking about it forever. I got it done. You can visit superbook.com to wager and win today. Visit superbook.com for terms and conditions. Gambling problem. Call 1-800-889-9789. 3HL 104.5 The Zone. I think my voice is cracked. Going through puberty finally, I guess. I don't know.
Be careful.
Yeah. So I got something for y'all for this 45 segment real quick, and then we'll get to some of the calls. 615-737-1045. Brent Doherty, Don Davenport, Ron Slay, producer Joe Hunk. Tennessee playing UNC Asheville, 0-0, fifth inning. All right, a guide. I saw this on CNN.com. And before y'all start like, oh, CNN, blah, blah, blah. I follow all of the news agencies. Like, okay, like I want all the information.
I want all the smoke.
Yes. A guide to tipping. So they ask you like categories and what you would tip percentage-wise, and then they show you what the average percent tip is. All right? Okay. Barber, hairdresser. Percentage you tip.
I don't tip them no percentage. I tip them on amount.
Just dollars?
Yep.
Yeah. I do that with a lot of people anyway.
I tipped 20.
I'm 15 and 20.
The average is 20% for barber, hairdresser. I think a lot of people don't know or are guessing like on some of these.
And see, this is the go ahead.
I think everybody will get this one. Bartender.
20%.
20%.
Unless they're really good, and then it's like 50%.
Yep.
Depends on how long I've been there.
Yeah, you better believe it. Yep. Mm-hmm.
That's definitely true. Or if you know them and stuff like that.
Right,
Yeah,
and they take care of you.
You got to take care of them.
Like, so that was my first job. My first job out of college was bartender, waitress.
Oh, that's the bartender. You hear all the, like, you just get, like, you're a psychologist.
Yeah.
Server.
20%.
20%.
Man, depends on the service.
Even
What
if
about
it's
the guy
bad service, I usually do like 15 to 20%.
If it's bad service, they'll get what's normal.
Yeah.
The 15 or whatever that is.
Yeah.
What about the guy that threatened to throw you in jail the other day?
Oh, he was the manager.
Oh.
Just bypassed the waiter.
Barista.
Nothing.
I don't drink hot chocolate.
Dude, coffee.
They do more
you
than
don't
hot
drink
chocolate.
I only drink hot chocolate.
Oh, I thought you said I don't drink hot chocolate.
No, he doesn't.
Barista.
Yeah, I usually don't tip.
10%.
Man, I got to up my game. Sorry, baristas.
Well, to be fair, though, like you're usually pissed off before you get your coffee.
Yeah, I know.
Yours is to calm you down.
You're ready to fight people in the parking lot. Like it's happened multiple
bunch
times.
of idiots. You know?
Grocery delivery.
I don't do that, so I can't
So
really say.
I think I do like $7 to $10.
See, that's a dollar figure. So 10% is the average.
So
Ride share, like Uber and all them.
Depends.
A lot. This is funny because like 55 and older, it's like 68% of people tip. 18 to 34, Uber drivers are listening right now, and they're like, they know when they pick somebody up. Like 18 to 34.
Don't tip.
Really don't, like in large numbers.
Really?
They don't tip?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. It's like 22% tip in that demo.
Wow.
So rideshare, it says, I always do like another amount. Like if they're really nice, like I'll do 20% just off the top. But if they're really nice and stuff,
yeah,
I'll just do a dollar amount over that.
Yeah. Well, and if it's
because I appreciate
if it's like
I
my
appreciate the
city
grind.
and I know that they just took a different way or something, then I'll be like, listen, I told you not to go that way.
You know what?
So fast food is now enabling, a lot of fast food places are enabling like you to tip off a card. So fast food percentage tip.
None.
0.
Yeah, fast food ain't going.
I do it at Sonic. But like
yeah,
I know,
because they come and deliver it to you.
Round up or something.
Yeah. And I know the lady.
You can't get no tip in the drive-thru.
No.
Like, you in the
What did Joe
drive-thru.
Pesci say in Lethal Weapon? they'll screw you in the drive-thru.
You know what I'm saying?
To-go food. Like if you order it from a restaurant and you go pick it up.
This is hard.
This is a debatable one here.
It is debatable. Who was that really famous rich actor that ordered a ton of food to go or something and didn't tip?
I mean, because
I forget who it was now.
And it got out.
And it got out, and it was everywhere, and it was like this big ordeal. And he
That's
was
the
like,
thing.
"It
People
was
talk,
to
man.
go."
Yeah.
I always do 20% because I think back to that story.
But you're waiting for somebody to tell you not to do 20%.
Yeah.
my to go, I might got $5 for you. Because, I mean, you ain't really doing nothing for me.
Well,
like your style
now,
on
listen,
a
when
dollar
I was a
figure.
waitress, I hated the nights where I was on to go because I had to get that crap together.
They're called servers. Babs.
Oh.
You're going to offend yourself by calling yourself a waitress.
Offend yourself.
What, are they not waiters and waitresses?
No.
No, it's servers now?
So, don't ask me, baby.
Is waitress offensive?
To you, yes. You called yourself a waitress, so you should be offended by yourself.
Oh, well, I mean, that's what I was.
To-go food, 0%.
That's tough. If they're bringing it to the car, like the car
Really?
pickup, I'm giving them
0%?
Look at her. She got
I'm
excited.
like home free. I can stop doing my 20% on to-go?
So nobody expects it.
No, dude.
I ain't got no root.
These people trying to put food on the table. Dog walker. Anybody have a dog walker?
No.
No.
You should,
I
man. You got
should.
4 dogs,
I
dude.
know.
They'll bite the dog walker.
That dog will bite you.
I've got a problem child or two in my pack.
10% tip on dog walker. See, we're here for you.
Huh. That was really interesting.
Thank you, Babsy.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
See, I'm not.
To-go food, Babs.
I don't really do that percentage. I go by what you give me. What you give me is what you get. Type of energy you give me, type of service you give me.
I'll tell you something, man.
I'm
It goes back to what you were saying. I delivered pizza 2 different summers when I was in college, and I came back to Nashville and Papa John's in Green Hills. I loved that job.
Yeah.
I loved it. But because of that, like I tip pizza people like through the roof.
Right.
So I guess a lot of stuff is based on your personal experience.
Yeah, you gotta give me the service.
My family owns a bar and a restaurant. So
exactly.
Yep.
I usually tip servers and bartenders and all that pretty high.
615-737-1045. 5 o'clock hour is wide open for you guys. We can talk about. We posed a question. What do you think? Like, if we told you one of these 3 players is gone, who would it most likely be? Derrick Henry, Kevin Byard, Ryan Tannehill. 615-737-1045. Also, the Final Four. You guys excited about Florida State? Florida State. I keep doing it. Florida Atlantic, San Diego State, Miami, UConn.
I am.
And what kind of championship game is that setting up?
I think it's gonna be good.
All right.
I just think it's different.
Yeah,
and that's kind of
names,
fun.
Yeah.
I wouldn't tip this Final Four.
I think this is the
No tip? Are you going to go?
Like my base is 20% unless you screw me.
Yeah, I agree.
I think this
it's
is
tough for me to go below 20%. Honestly.
Yeah, you got to be really bad. You have to be rude.
You got to threaten
It's
to throw
not
you
even
in.
bad.
Threaten to throw you in jail.
Exactly. Because if you're bad, I feel sorry for you.
We'll be right back. Want to tell you about my friends at Brentwood Jewelry, the Amamali family. They do an amazing job there. I love going in and just watching these guys interact with their clientele. People walk in, they immediately start calling everyone by their first name, and when you become a client at Brentwood Jewelry, you will develop that relationship as well. These guys are there for you. All of your gifting responsibilities throughout the course of the year, Brentwood Jewelry can help you out. Located in the heart of Brentwood, just off Franklin Road. 7012 Church Street is the address. BrentwoodJewelry.com is the website. New hours this year. They are taking Sundays and Mondays off, so they will work Tuesday through Friday from 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. and Saturdays 9 to 4. If you haven't already heard, Nashville's premier timepiece dealer is Brentwood Jewelry. And not only do they have the best selection of watches, they're also the go-to spot for pre-owned Rolexes, both vintage and current models, and you can own a pre-owned Rolex for a fraction of the cost. Every watch has been meticulously serviced to ensure the highest level of performance and is presented with a 2-year warranty. They do great repair work there as well. Maybe you need a necklace repaired, earrings duplicated, a watch that needs maintenance. Because of the workmanship that goes into Brentwood Jewelry's customized pieces, Brentwood Jewelry is also experts in repairs, from vintage family heirlooms to recreating a missing piece. Brentwood Jewelry can help you out. Brentwood Jewelry, 7012 Church Street in the heart of Brentwood, just off Franklin Road. Exceptional style, exceptional deals every day for more than 50 years. Visit BrentwoodJewelry.com.
Good evening from the Superbook.com sports desk. I'm Joe Hunk. NFL League meetings happening. And one of the important things that you need to know, roughing the passer, yeah, we're still going to debate it in 2023 because the proposal to have that play reviewable got denied. Also being denied is replacing an onside kick with a 4th and 20 play. That has actually been tabled, so it could happen in the future, just not in 2023. You've got a lot of games going on tonight involving teams teams from the state of Tennessee. UNC Asheville and Tennessee are going on right now. That game is currently in the 5th inning with Tennessee leading that ball game 1-0. Lipscomb and Vanderbilt's going to get going at 6 o'clock tonight. You have the Preds in Boston taking on the Bruins with only 10 games remaining in the regular season. And the Grizz are hosting the Magic at 7 p.m. Both of those games you can see on Bally Sports. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Vols, the flagship station for your Tennessee Titans, and home to 3HL. This is 104.5 The Zone.
HL 104.5 The Zone. Brent Doherty, Don Davenport is here. Hi, Don.
Excuse me, sir.
That's bunk. That's bunk. Twitch, please.
Let me tell you what's bunk. It is freezing in this studio.
I don't know. Somebody tried to sneak their way into that little intro. You hear that?
Somebody did try the back door right there. Excuse me.
Don said no.
I don't know who that is.
It sounded like Bert. Mary Poppins.
What was that?
A little English guy tried to sneak in.
There were 2 intros playing at once.
Hey, look, Don, you're staring at me. I just got to be honest. I accidentally hit the wrong intro. I tried to cover it up. It didn't work. Okay.
You can't get past that.
I like how you got the little Albie Bears over there on your screen.
I know, it's like vintage Aubie Bears.
It's pretty cool.
It's from our box.
Yeah, a listener sent us a box.
A box of goodies.
Some things in our box.
It's in a box.
Chuck.
Chillin' Chuck.
Chuck.
It's definitely not that kind of box. Like, there's, like, really cute things in there. Like bears.
It's in a box.
It's all vintage
Yep.
college stuff.
Like-
Tennessee, Auburn,
Like 20-something years ago.
Smokey. Yeah.
Maybe longer
Very
than
cool.
that.
If you're watching
Thanks,
Zone
Chuck.
TV, you can see Lil Smokey attached to a microphone.
Yep. Can't move him over.
You can't see him. All right. Watch Zone TV, YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitter, and Twitch.
Twitch, please.
You can watch the show live there. We're wide open this hour, 615-737-1045. Again, we started the show with this. Metro Nashville Police Department did release body cam footage. It's about 6 minutes long of, and it honestly, like, it's heartbreaking, of course, the story is, and tragic and all of those things. But, like, this 6 minutes shows the amount of hours and training and fearlessness and just doing your job in a very, very difficult deal. And we talked a lot about first responders running toward the danger. And you can see that right up and hear everything that's going on and the directions from these phenomenal police officers that saved countless lives.
The calmness.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I mean, they're clearing rooms and bathrooms and coming
quickly
around corners and not knowing if they're about to encounter gunfire.
Right.
If they're about to turn this corner and get gunned down.
Mm-hmm.
And they just go. And quickly, yes. From the time they left their cars, got into the building, and located the threat, stopped the threat, it was 3 minutes.
Yeah.
3.
And, yeah, I mean.
And it felt like longer watching it because the fire alarms are going off. That was clearly a part of the school's protocol, right? To make sure that the kids all got upstairs,
right,
Yes.
protected.
And shout out to the administrator who was outside when the police got there and did her best to illustrate exactly what she knew what was going on, and that
here's where the kids are.
The children are sheltered. They're upstairs, which is where the shooter was. Come to find out, they didn't know when they entered the building. They had to unlock it with a key, which takes time.
Right.
And the fearlessness and call to duty.
Amazing. And the calmness. That's what gave me, because it gave me anxiety to watch the video. You know, with the fire alarms going and to stay calm and be able to communicate with each other. And Metro Nashville Police Department, did a great job.
Yeah, shout out first responders, and I know a lot of y'all listen because you're in your cars and trucks all day, and you are appreciated. If you would like to give, there are GoFundMe pages out there that are accumulating a lot of money for each of the victims' families and things like that. You can find those out there. Also, Community Foundation in Middle Tennessee, which is cfmt.org. You can support survivors of the Covenant school shooting there, cfmt.org. 615-737-1045. Looks like the Commanders are going to be sold. $6 billion bid has been submitted, and Magic Johnson is a part of that group.
He ain't going to miss out on too much. Man, he was down here a long, long time ago over there in the Gorge. What was that when they was building them high rises?
Oh, Magic Johnson was?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Got in here, sold, and got up out of here real fast. Yeah. Magic ain't missing.
There's a bunch of rules changes that have been, I don't know, passed, not passed, and one that was tabled, which is interesting. But the one everybody seems to be talking about is over the number. Like, people get fired up over numbers. So the number 0, any player that doesn't play offensive line or defensive line can wear 0. And I think that's stupid. If a center wants to wear number 0, let the center wear number 0.
No, man.
Come on, man. Why?
No,
What's
man.
the difference between 0 and 58?
No, man. Get you a double-digit number, man.
Oh,
and a high one.
I like big guys with single digits.
No, man. Nobody want to see that.
Agent 0 playing center.
Nobody want to see them numbers stretched all out.
Corey Brewer.
No, you can't have them stretched out. No.
Stretched out.
Yeah.
Look like the Oregon logo.
Yeah, exactly.
Big Jeff wearing number 0. Come on, man. Look, if Big Jeff wants to wear number 0, I'm going to let Big Jeff wear number 0. I always thought that was weird. And the NFL ran into a problem because they always wanted to, like, positionally have ranges for numbers, but then they all these teams started retiring all these numbers. Yep. And they're like, well, crap. We don't have any more 83, 4, 5.
Brady was hot about that, too, last year. They started switching numbers up because he couldn't pick who was the linebackers, the guys coming and stuff and all. Yeah. Quarterback problem.
Dawn, you care about numbers?
Yes.
Hey, thanks, Babs.
Dawn was number 34, but I can't remember if it was for Bo Jackson or
Chuck Wagner.
Yes.
Chuck Person?
Chuck Barton.
Barkley.
Oh, yeah, Barkley. Rifleman, too, man.
Charles.
He wasn't 34, though.
No,
Bo and Charles.
Yeah.
Bo and Charles. So depending on which guy you run into, you tell them that.
Yes.
Yeah, it'd be great. She had a great number.
34 is a strong play. There are a lot of famous 34s.
It was. So we
I always
had
loved Reggie Cobb at Tennessee.
Was it my junior year? Yeah, we had an awful coach my junior year who came in.
Shout out to that coach.
Yeah, I forget his name. His first name was Kevin. He was crazy.
Kevin, crazy
Kevin. There's no way that dude
Kevin.
is still coaching. I mean, he pushed one of our girls into therapy. Like, he was awful.
Crazy Kev?
Yeah, he was crazy. Anyway, so
Kevin just wandered, right? Probably lives in Nashville. He's like a bartender down the go.
I hope he doesn't live in Nashville. I never want to
he
see
won't
that
be getting
dude.
20%.
Nah.
Don't worry about that.
He's not getting anything.
Kevin, Auburn volleyball
Not getting
coach.
anything.
Yeah, so when he
Crazy.
came in, when was this? It was the end of my junior year, I think.
Kevin Rensselaer?
That's him. What's he doing now?
I don't know.
Find out.
He came from.
Don't find out because
There's no way that dude is still coaching. He's toxic. Toxic. So no, listen. I'm going to show you how crazy he was. He was bothered that me, the shortest girl on the team, and the captain was number 34. So he made everybody change their numbers from 1 all the way up to what did we have? 15 girls on that team. Everybody had to change their number and go from 1 through 15 and did it by height. So I was number 1. I was number 1.
You can't do that.
Isn't that crazy?
That's old school right there, though.
Yeah.
That's old school.
That is.
I don't get
You have a
crap.
problem, dude.
It's a problem school.
And this is coming from somebody who really likes organization, right?
Yeah,
you guys
yeah.
know. I'm like, everything has to be in its place, and I want everything to match. And, okay, this shoe is like half an inch off from this shoe in the closet, and I need it fixed now. Like, that is me. And I'm like, that guy had an issue.
She ain't lying, y'all. She is not lying.
What's he doing now?
I can't believe you let
I'm
that
gonna go find
guy
him.
like just kind of walk around without experiencing the full Don Davenport.
That was probably like,
Oh, he did. I mean, he did. Yeah. Although I will say it wasn't.
I can't find the real Kevin Rensler.
Good,
like
man.
it
I
could
keep
be.
finding some guy
Exactly.
from Berry College.
Yeah, Barry Collins, director of sports leadership and strategy.
Which would have been funny if that would be him, because, sports
Oh my gosh,
leadership.
it is him. It is him.
What is he
He's
doing?
a professor?
Of sports leadership.
Oh my gosh.
Trying to lead y'all
Oh,
the right way,
the
Babs.
irony of this.
Trying to
The
lead
irony of this dude teaching about sports leadership, and he couldn't even coach a volleyball team. Oh, the irony. Oh, I'm lost in it right now.
Maybe his class is what not to do.
Sorry, Travis.
Holy
Dawn now
moly.
has a project tonight.
I just saw him. He looks so old.
Because he coached you for a few years.
Babs drove him nuts. Drove him crazy.
Oh my gosh.
It's just so funny to me.
I guess I was in school a really long time ago, though. I mean,
crying.
jeez.
You're only 26. I don't know how long.
I
you
don't
have.
know.
Half of these guys.
I cross them off. Director of Sport Leadership and
Yes.
Strategy?
Yes. Yes.
Berry College, come on.
I'm going back to get a bachelor's, and I need to find out. I mean, I'll get a master's in whatever. What's he teaching?
Sports leadership.
Sports leadership. That's right.
Oh my.
I'm gonna be on my way.
Oh, man.
I'm adopting Crazy Kev method to leadership.
Jeez.
Come on, Crazy Kev.
Yeah, Vanderbilt could have hired this guy when they hired the volleyball coach.
Stand up there and go, man, this one time at Auburn, I had this one girl. She wore number 34.
Yeah.
Let me tell you about her.
She
was
wore
a
white socks
problem.
up past her knees.
Oh, Mr. Babs is listening.
Yep, so
He's
Don't-
like, stop
listen,
it.
hey,
Stop it.
Mr.
We have
Babs,
too many
Travis,
projects.
Travis, go ahead and open that bottle of Mayomi because she's coming home and digging.
No room for
She's digging into this
no room
dude.
for old volleyball coaches.
Oh, look, he resigned in 03 from Auburn.
Oh,
Yeah.
y'all send them back.
Oh, God, I just gave away my age.
26. Everybody knew that.
I can't believe he's a professor of sports
All right.
leadership.
Your phone call's
This
next.
is what is wrong with our professors right now. This guy? Oh, my gosh.
We'll be right back.
Oh.
Oh, man. Babs just said, holy crap balls. Jared, Kevin, Todd, hang in there, man. We'll come to you. 615-737-1045. Go up to Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. That's where you need to go to get that next new vehicle, especially if you want to go see Kev at Berry College. You can get a new car, truck, SUV, Jeep, whatever you need, pre-owned. They'll be able to help you out. Just let them in on your situation. Maybe you've got repair bills adding up. Maybe you need something more reliable. Maybe you need something just new. Definitely include my friends at Gupton if you are going dealership to dealership, because these are the best people out there, man. And I've bought multiple vehicles from my friends at Gupton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, and they'll treat you right, no pressure at all. They simply want you in the vehicle that's right for you, and that's what'll happen. Go take your test drive. You'll go inside. They'll help make the numbers work, and it will be that easy. 24 West Shore, Clarksville, exit 35, about 9 miles outside the city, and it's 30 minutes total drive time to the best car buying experience you've ever had. 3450 Tom Austin Highway in beautiful Springfield, Tennessee. Check them out online. GuptonMotors.com is a website. All of the inventory there is there. GuptonMotors.com. All of the dealership information and inventory is there. GuptonMotors.com. That's Gupton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram.
All right, tournament is heating up. No better place to get in on the action than with FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. Right now, FanDuel is giving all y'all new customers a no-sweat first bet up to $1,000. What is that? That means it's $1,000 back in bonus bets if your first bet does not win. And all you have to do to join in on the action is go to FanDuel.com/Dawn. That's DAWN. Sign up today. Claim your no sweat first bet. And then you can wager on everything from money line, point spreads, which team will be cutting down the net. Maybe your bracket is done. It's busted. And you still want to enjoy and have some fun here. FanDuel. That's the way to go. FanDuel Sportsbook. I always tell you, America's #1 sportsbook. Their app is safe, their app is secure, and their app is very easy to use, which is why it's my choice. So don't miss your shot at a no-sweat first bet up to $1,000 when you join FanDuel today. Go to FanDuel.com/Dawn and sign up. Make every moment more with FanDuel. You do have to be 21 and older and present in Tennessee. First online real money wager only. $10 deposit required. Refund issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See full terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem? Tennessee Redline 1-800-889-9789.
3HL 104.5 The Zone, Brett Doherty, Don Davenport. Did we do Ron Slay's intro in the last segment, or did we just go all in on Don's former volleyball coach?
I think we did. I'm in the building. Best believe I'm in the building. Better be ready.
Just in case.
I'm in the building. I ain't got no rules. Time for the show. I could have won my part Slay.
I like it when Slay checks his betting account and he's like, I won last night. What did I win on?
I did. So I'm challenged right now. So I made a bet on.
You can check it out.
Yeah, I don't know when I made it. Oh, I made this bet.
Cash it out. That's what I was looking for.
I made this bet a week ago. And they're asking me, do I want to cash out? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I made a $50 bet. And
a week ago on what?
UConn winning the national championship.
Oh.
I got it at plus 350.
Oh, dude, I'd roll with that.
Yeah, I'd roll it.
So they asked me from the $50, do I want to pull out 108.56?
No.
Let it ride, huh?
Hey, what were we talking about with drafting a quarterback? Risk reward.
Oh, I'm with it. Forget that lineman. Who wants a lineman?
Wearing number 0.
Nobody.
Can you imagine if Slay would have worn 0 in high school?
Man.
What number were you in high school?
Trey 5.
In football, too?
Oh, no. 88 from the playmaker. Like Michael Irvin.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, because you were leading the state in receiving.
That's right, man. It was cold
for 3 weeks
out there. Woo, cold. Just put it up there, baby. I take it home. Hey.
What pass routes did you run?
Go.
I remember watching John Henderson. He would run literally like 10, 15 yards down the field and turn around.
Yeah, we call it a fade, but yeah.
You just throw it
just
up.
Throw it about. Yep.
And like, who's going to jump up there and get
That's
it?
right. Yeah, we are jumping everybody. We're going to jump. We're going to jump, especially Big Joe. Like, he's the high point the ball and then come down. And like it was, I got to find some of that film. I'm going to go back and look at it. Like, he would actually like swat guys off like flies.
I would go to.
Amazing.
I was already in this business back then, and so I would go to Pearl Cone games, and y'all would play. I remember I went to the Hillsborough game, and man, some of those kids on the field that are like 5'5", 140 pounds, like trying to tackle him
with a lot of heart. Just
heart only get you so far.
It's only get you so far when you're going
against
somebody. Yeah, that's exactly.
So we've got some more information on Auburn volleyball coach Kevin Rentschler.
Oh my gosh, you got more?
He surfaced.
Did he call in?
This was
I'm pretty sure he wouldn't do that.
This was one of Dawn's volleyball coaches, and she went nuts on him when we figured out who he was and where he is and all those things. But so the information here is he was 2 seasons. He was head coach at Auburn.
Which is crazy because I thought it was more than that.
He went 14-42.
That's some numbers.
And now he's what, sports leadership consultant or professor for Berry College?
Sports leadership.
See, I'm kind of with Babsy on that. You can't win 14 games in 2 years and get anything with leadership.
Well, we've got some breaking news.
Oh, what?
Yeah, Oh, we're just going to announce things.
Well, I mean, I could do that. I couldn't find the breaking news, but here you go.
Now, you got to do the hitman.
104.5 The Zone.
You have him on the phone?
No. Dawn found his email address.
Oh, yeah.
Pop the bottle of wine tonight.
It's going down. Let it rip. Time to walk down memory lane. Everything you didn't like, Babsy, you let him know. We are adults now. You don't stand for it. You know what, mister?
Is that petty?
Yeah. But it's cool.
I mean, you guys know I don't have a problem with being petty.
Your petty meter broke.
Nah.
Yeah, don't matter. Anyway.
What do I always say? As I get older, my give a damn is busted.
Just out of here.
Oh, man. Candy says, Dawn's going to start the letter with, let me tell you about the sleazeball you have on your staff.
that is dead on right there,
This
Candy.
dude is bunk.
I'm going to use that, too.
Candy said he is so bunk he caused a girl to have to go to therapy.
It's true.
I wonder if Dawn played into that part, too. Though.
Hey, you know what? Part of my email is going to be like, numbers are important to athletes. You made me switch to number 1 from 34. I go to Auburn, the place of Charles Barkley and Bo Jackson.
That's right.
And I got to share a number with them, and you made me change it. You are bunk.
Shame on you.
Shame on you.
So basically you hate this guy because he made you change from 34 to 1?
I mean, there are numerous reasons I hate him, but yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's a big one.
Yeah, I feel you on it, Babs. I could not imagine.
Numbers are important to play.
Yeah, what?
Oh, gosh.
Babsy?
Sorry.
She just killed the Bears.
It just got wild over there. What is going on?
I just hit the mic. I just knocked down the Bears. I knocked down everything.
Was that the ghost of Crazy Kev?
Oh, my gosh.
He's not dead.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's right.
No, but you guys were like, oh, well, wouldn't that be hilarious if somebody was listening and let him know? I'm like, no, he doesn't have any friends. Nobody knows him. Nobody. No.
When Babs digs into something.
Travis
has already been texting us. I'm like, hey, bro, she found his email address. Get that bottle of wine ready. He's like, Dawn's got enough projects. We don't. Let's get it. Kevin in Nashville. Kevin, what's up, man?
Yeah, this Coach Kevin. Don, I didn't know I hurt your feelings so bad. I mean, I had to call in. I heard I was being talked about.
Oh, well played. Well played.
Gotcha.
I know it's not you because his voice is like evil.
Yeah, that just sounded like hearing you describe who he was. I just gave him my best.
That was well done.
I would have fell for it.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, I got to get your all's take on. So you remember that conversation y'all were having about like the tipping earlier?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So new scenario, okay, and I need to get your take. So
all right.
There's this place called Eastern Peak over on Thompson Lane.
Okay.
Back in COVID, they got really good Ty. Back during the COVID era, they would charge 10% of the overall bill for you to come get your food. And at the time, it was like, to help out their staff in those times and stuff. And so I'm completely down with that. I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, like fast forward 2 years and then 3 years, they're still doing it. And so they charge, so if your bill's like $66, it's a $6.60 charge to go pick up your food and walk out the door with it. So I got kind of a beef with that. I don't think that's very cool. And so I'm curious to get your all's take on that scenario, fair or foul.
I'll go with foul.
Fair. I mean, no, fair to what he said. Okay, foul. Yeah, foul on them.
Yeah, foul on them.
Yeah.
Fair during COVID.
Right,
that was a
without
different,
question. Yep. Mm-hmm.
right? We're navigating a different thing. We got to take care of our service staff who, can't do their job. That's totally fair. But yeah, I'm with you. Keeping it around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wrote the dude an email, the manager, and explain my thought process. I wasn't being mean or anything.
You went to the school of Babsy.
This is like my spirit animal right here. See, you just very nicely talked about it, right? Why can't we do that nowadays?
Okay, Kevin, here's the difference between you and her, and I don't even need to know the details of your situation. They did not threaten to arrest you, right? Because that's what happens with Dawn.
No threats? I just got an email back saying, hey, man, take it or leave it. We're still making Ty over here.
Wow.
Boy, that place is good.
Oh, that's what I was going to say.
They can only do that if they're good.
Yep.
That is real.
I've never had Ty before.
Thank you, Kevin. It's hot, dude.
Oh, I won't have it. I'll ever have it then.
There's a little Thai place up here at the Naked statue.
That's Indian food?
Oh, it's Thai.
Thai? No, it's Thai.
They're not the same.
No,
how do you
Indian
explain?
Food is spicy as hell.
So Slay's theory
it's not
is,
that kind of. It's not necessarily that kind of spicy.
Okay, all right.
So Slay's theory on
Thank
hot
you, Babs.
food,
You always knew.
spicy food.
I know what
is
you're talking about. Yeah.
If it goes in hot, it's coming out hot.
No, you take the F out of there. When it goes in hot, it's going to come out hot.
Do you not eat hot salsa?
No, heck no.
Medium?
Occasionally. Mild me.
All right, this is what Kevin was talking about. We were talking about a guide to tipping that we saw on the internet. And the following, just in case you're wondering, 20% is the average tip for barber, hairdresser, server, bartender. 10% is the average tip for barista, which I guarantee some people didn't know.
I didn't know that.
Grocery delivery, ride share, taxis, Uber, Lyft, and dog walker. 0% is the average tip for fast food, which is trying to get you to tip now, and to-go food. So that's what he was talking about. 615-737-1045. Todd next up on 3HL. Todd, what's up?
Hey, what's going on? Ron, Don,
Hey,
Joel.
what's up, Todd?
What up,
What up,
Todd?
You
Todd?
guys I want to say to you guys are the most amazing three people that I can ever listen to that can make my day, whether it's crappy, lack of a better word, crappy, but you three make my day every single day. I just want you guys to know that.
Oh, man.
I appreciate
that.
And,
appreciate you.
And I want y'all to know that I went and got a smoothie today at Smoothie King, and I tipped them 10%.
Hey,
You
that's
did.
I'm
At the window?
I mean, is that the right thing, the wrong thing?
Most definitely right.
But I want to say this, too. Ron Slay, Dawn, Brent, you guys, Ron Slay's a maniac. He's just one of the most impressive people I've ever listened to. But you guys, y'all all three run together. And I know that when you guys go to Philly for the Army-Navy game, you guys run together. And that's what I love about it.
Appreciate that.
So, hey, here's up to my smoothie. Had a little too much alcohol last night, but by God, the smoothie sure helped me.
Yeah.
Thank you, bro.
Good balance right there.
Yeah, man, Waffle House is pretty good for that.
Oh, it soaks it up.
Yeah.
But if you
No,
can't
but
get to
smooth-
it, you
I'm
fall
telling
out.
you,
Yeah, I'm with you.
Smoothie is like a sneaky good fix.
It put the stuff back in you.
You could put in like the extra, add in the veggies, add in the antioxidants,
Yep.
add in
Those
like
those
the
are good, for
yeah.
sure. Yeah.
That's
the
what I've been doing in my little cup over there.
vitamin C booster.
So what's the
immuno.
difference? So tell me what's the difference in me stirring up my little cup and then everything you just named?
Well, first of all, you stir your cup for 2 hours with your pinky straight up.
Yeah, it's respect for the royal family.
That's right. Showing love.
I mean, I'm
Rest
like,
in peace, Queenie.
I'm like, the damn thing is stirred. You're done.
Rest in peace, Prince Philip.
You're done.
Shout out to M. Poppins. You're done.
Mary Poppins, yeah. Who would have thought that would have gotten a mention today?
So this entire first of all, part of this conversation started by the tipping thing, but we were talking about the Titans and which one you would want to go.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Like
I
if you knew for sure one was going, who would you be okay with it being? Derrick Henry,
See,
Ryan Tannehill, or
Kevin Byard.
Kevin
That's
Byard.
one way to ask that question. Another, I think, interesting question is, if I told you that one of those three would be gone, who do you think it is?
My answer.
did I not ask it right?
You can ask it however you want to ask it.
My answer's
I'm not getting in
nobody.
your way. I see what you do with
Well,
Kevin.
I did put a Twitter poll out, and all three coming back was an option Slay, and right now that's leading by 64%.
Yeah, that's what I'm going.
The
I'm staying.
player that is
They are.
leading that people believe is the least likely to be back in 2023 is Ryan Tannehill.
I mean, what
Right.
in the world?
By the
Unless
way,
they tell me it's a
The
rebuild.
Tannehill disbelief is wild to me.
By the way, just behind the curtain, he mentioned, like, I can see y'all going to Philly Army-Navy game and just being tight and hanging out with you. That is what we do.
Yeah,
Like,
we do.
We go everywhere together.
We have a good time.
Yeah,
So when
we're-
Babs go to sleep on us.
we really are
It's
tight.
just me and you.
Let me hit Dan real quick because
That is also
Hunt
accurate.
told me to go to line one. Dan, what's up?
Hey, how are you guys? You guys are doing a great job. First of all, prayers to the firefighters, police officers, and all the families,
Yes.
because it's very sad.
Yes.
But I work at Waffle House, and the tips are outstanding. Even the carryouts. Okay, the carryouts, the waitresses get $20. I'm a grill cook, and I only get nothing. I just get my hourly wage. But we have police officers that come in every day, and there is absolutely someone there that pays for their meal every time they come in, and it is so cool.
That's wild.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it's like, no, don't tell them it's me, And it's like, we want their check, and it's like, it's amazing. And I just want to say thank you. I love you all. Bye.
Love you, Dan.
That's real. I'm gonna tell you one
Thank
thing too
you.
about Dan. Dan, I always make sure I tip the cooks. I tip the cooks before I tip the waitress. I tip them before they cook the meal. The cooks at Waffle House.
And you have like a full-on conversation with them.
Yeah, they're my people.
I know.
Well,
that was a great idea.
I'm like, they
You got to.
They need to work.
Yeah, and they're gonna get
Stop talking to them.
Dawn needs her food.
I need my waffle.
They are busy.
busy. I love them. I love the Waffle House.
Appreciate you, Dan.
I do.
It's another T-shirt.
I didn't know that people do takeout for Waffle House. Like, to me, I'm like, Waffle House is an experience. You have to go there.
Yeah, part of it.
Because that's when
sitting
it's
there.
so good.
It smells so good in
Yeah,
there.
Oh,
man.
my
See,
gosh.
y'all.
Seeps
And the
into your
conversations
clothes,
are
you
awesome.
smell it the next day. It's great.
I'm gonna get the Waffle House. Give me some grits while I'm there, and then get it to go. If I ain't far from the crib.
Man, I'm so hungry right now.
You wanna go Waffle House?
Oh my goodness. I'm going somewhere.
Waffle House, bring us something up here.
Well, we ain't got time. We got 19 minutes.
Okay.
All right. More 3 till next on 104.5 The Zone.
What's happening, people? Ron Slay here, Superbook Sports. Download it. I mean, immediately. Just download it. You get to it, you get to wager right away. You can visit superbook.com as well and start wagering and winning today. But the main thing you got to understand is, man, who is behind the scenes. Superbook Sports is the most trusted name in Las Vegas, and it's live right here in Tennessee for all your sports wagering needs. They have a team of dedicated odds makers behind the counter in Las Vegas, setting all of their prices. We're talking about guys that have decades of experience, showing you why you should trust Superbook and why they have the best books around. It doesn't make, but I mean, I can't get it even more clear than that. And right now, you can look ahead to Final Four. You got playoffs coming up. You got hockey playoffs coming up. You want to tap in and get it all done. Visit superbook.com for terms and conditions. Gambling problem, call 1-800-889-9789. Book it.
It is that time of year again when the housing market starts to heat up with rates and home prices coming, well, finally down over where they were last year. Accurate Mortgage is predicting that competition for homes among buyers may be at least as fierce as last year, if not more. So now is the time to get pre-qualified for an Accurate Mortgage home loan so you can be one step ahead of your competition and win the house of your dreams. Accurate Mortgage has many options to help make your new mortgage more affordable, such as their payment reduction mortgage, perfect for easing into your new payment. Let's see. What did Krista B have to say? She said, super easy to get the process started. And we're there from start to finish at Accurate Mortgage. They never made us feel like any question was dumb, and we felt very comfortable talking with them. We closed on our home in 19 days. They are the definition of a dream team. I cannot thank them enough. That's what's going on at Accurate Mortgage. For more details, visit Accurate Mortgage today, AccurateMTG.com. Accurate Mortgage Group, a division of Acopia LLC, is an equal housing lender. NMLS number 4664. 3HL. What a crap show. This is craptastic today. Are you okay?
Mm-hmm. He just hit something.
I think he broke his hand on a chair sitting down in his chair, but there was another chair way too close to him that serves as kind of a desk because it's got his bags and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Okay.
Let the game go on. The games go on.
James says, what's that promo code for Superbook?
I don't have one. Just get on there. Tell him I sent you.
Get on there and let it rip.
I'm gonna call Kristen later tonight and ask her why don't I have a promo code.
I don't have one either.
Nobody has one.
Yeah, we need one.
Everybody just out here, y'all.
But hey, bet responsibly.
That's right.
Like Slay, who forgot what he bet
and won twice.
What was that noise?
Yeah, one time.
Meh.
All right. 615-737-1045. Oh, look, the guy that gave us the box.
He got his name on the
Chuck.
box.
Chuck,
what up,
in
Chuck?
Mount Pleasant. Chuck, what is going on, brother?
Hey, what y'all doing down there?
Going through all the stuff you sent us, man.
I seen the hand puppet. I like that.
Yeah, I got
do you see it on the? Yep.
Yeah, live. Yeah. I wanted to ask Slay about them names I put on the back of that card.
I saw that. I saw what's my guy? Sudduth, Big Sudduth.
Reggie Sudduth, Lamont Ridley, whose mom was a principal at East High School.
I remember Lamont. Well, I don't remember.
Will Reed and Armando Fitz.
Armando Fitz, who lives in Nashville, I think.
Well, he married into the Sabatis NASCAR
Yes.
team. He married Sabatis' daughter.
Yeah.
And then EJ Jr.
Who does live in Nashville or Middle Tennessee.
He played for Alabama
He
football.
did. He was a hell of a player.
Well,
Where did he
worked
go?
at
Did he go to-
Alabama about a
did he go
month
to
playing
Maplewood?
football and stuff. And the coach got mad about it, and he was here one Saturday night and gone on Sunday.
Got him on out of there.
Yeah.
Man, we appreciate the box, though.
Thanks
Chuck.
for the
Some
box of
in there,
goodies.
Hey, Dawn, there's a couple of Auburn things wrapped up in a little bubble pack in there for you.
Oh, I got him. I got my cute little bears are sitting right next to me.
They are.
Yeah, I saw them.
War
You
Name
knocked
Eagle.
them off the floor, too.
No, it went on the floor, just on the table.
Okay.
They survived.
They survived. They're good to go. They're back.
They survived and advanced.
War Bears.
Yeah, Ron, make sure you open the box that says Little Smoky on it.
Okay, all right, I got you. I will.
All right. Well, y'all enjoy all that, and I'll holler at you later.
Thank you so much,
Thank you, Chuck.
Appreciate it, man.
Gator Mike said, thank you, Chuck. Appreciate it. Gator Mike says Armando went to Good Pasture, and yes, EJ Jr. went to Maplewood.
Mm-hmm. Do we do the after party sponsor?
Oh, we got Slay's liners?
Is this a liner?
Hunk's going to fight you over this.
Yes.
Yeah. I think it kind of is.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Hunk's going to fight you over this. Hunk enjoys doing this.
Oh,
the
Hunk
end
can
of
do
the
it. I just want to tell about it.
Well, there's been a request for Slay to go in depth about the sponsor.
Oh.
And it's coming all the way from the islands. So Slay needs to talk about it.
So this is
From Hawaii?
This is from Hawaii.
No, the Falkland Islands.
This is the after party sponsor. It's brought to us by
Who? Your mom and them.
That's right. Thank you, mom and them. Just sitting on the porch
The
chilling.
sponsor is brought to you by a sponsor.
Yeah, mom and them. Awaken 180 weight loss fast, yet sustainable weight loss without medications, fasting, or the gym. Reserve your Awaken 180 at home consultation today. So anybody out there wondering, that's who the after party is brought to you by. That comes on after the show. But anybody out there wondering about the Awaken 180, I'm telling you, man, it is life changing. Like it is. You eat to lose weight. If that makes any sense. Like you just change some of your habits.
you're
what
always
you put in
eating
your
over there.
you gotta eat. You gotta eat every 2 to 3 hours, man. You get your own personal coach that lines up with you, helps you meet your goal. Once you meet your goal, you have a lifetime coach for a lifetime coach.
Yeah, for your
For
life.
life. Yeah, for your life.
How long?
Yeah, a whole entire lifetime. So instead of checking in weekly, you have to only check in every other month or every month, depending on how it goes, to make sure everything's going. So you hit up Awaken 180, get your consultation. They'll walk you right through it. Tell them Big Slay sent you, and you get a free consultation. So get that knocked out.
Yep. Eat to live, don't live to eat.
That's right. I'm eating.
Eating good in the neighborhood. Jared in Smyrna. Jared, what's up?
Hey, it's Garrett, y'all.
Hey, Garrett.
What up, man? Garrett?
Yeah, what up? So real quick, I'll make it quick. I wanted to say first and foremost, yesterday was terrible, and thank God for first responders and good people in this world. So I'll start with that.
Great.
And second thing, y'all posed the question. I thought about it a little bit. This whole time I've been, if you're going to get draft capital, if you're going to make a move this year, it should be Derrick Henry. But also I was just thinking about it on my way over here. The whole Zeke thing kind of has me worried. Like, if he gets picked up, then I won't be worried. But, that's kind of the thing. And I think people compare the two a lot. So if Zeke is out, I would think that Derrick's kind of got one foot out the door. But and then also, too, Slay, I made 3 brackets. And I had Tennessee winning one, Bama winning the other. And I went with San Diego State, baby.
Hey,
We're about to get this bread, baby.
One's still alive.
Let's go
there
get
you
it.
go.
Go get it, baby. I like it.
All
Garrett.
right. Well, love you guys. See y'all.
Appreciate you, brother.
Appreciate it, man. Garrett.
Garrett, man.
Garrett,
Thank you.
Jared, they're similar.
No, dude.
No, they're
No,
not.
it's not. I hope everybody got a
Garrett.
good 3-hour break today?
Bunk.
Yes.
That's very similar.
That's right.
Dawn it
Bunk
is.
and bunk.
Yeah. More of us coming up next. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Good night. God bless.
See ya.